Let's get killed.
That's what seems like is going to happen, but who knows?
That's that's a
Also, I used that Delta Green app. That thing's fantastic.
Yeah.
yeah, it's really cool.
I think
It's
that's the best way for getting my backups.
Oh yeah. No, I made two. They're on my phone, ready to go.
that app is very useful. Right. So the last first of all, who's making notes today?
This is my third time
Okay,
today.
you have the document ready, by the way. So
Yeah.
right. So last time you were traveling. Finally, you were traveling towards the supposed location of the Ghati village. Um, you were in a 20-ton Cougar 6x6 MRAP with 8 seats, and of course you are you have a backup. Mm, Second MRAP, smaller one, 4x4. Sergeant Ryan Harding is there with along with a specialist and four soldiers in the back. Um, you are also traveling with I mean, your driver is Specialist Bryant, the scrawny kid from Philadelphia. He's your driver and mechanic. And Specialist Booker as medic, and of course Yassim Rahimi, the Afghan interpreter. Along the way, it's uh, it's like 4 hour drives from the FOB Turner to Kaligati. I mean, you assume that that takes us it takes that long. But when you were 3 hours in, something happened. If I recall correctly, your driver spotted something in the road, like protruding in the middle of the road, a glint of metal. And he immediately, of course, communicated that an IED, or improvised explosive device, has been prepared to to ambush a vehicle such as the one that you're traveling in. The Cougar is of course a heavily armored personal carrier, but even it can suffer badly if hit by an ID. So what you did was you immediately stopped the vehicle, the leading vehicle, the one that you're in. The second one also stopped. And now remind me, did you inform the second MRAP about the danger? Because few of your radios got fried by the strange interference, if I recall correctly.
Yes. So, I was when I was typing up the notes, I noticed so there was a point at which um, something was mentioned about turning off all the radios because
Yes, because they can be used to detonate
mhm,
the
right, the radio
explosives.
signals.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and then I think we started backing up, and they got the hint and started backing up. But then
We flashed hand signals, wasn't it?
yeah, we definitely tried to notify them or something, but then I was noticing later that it sounded like somebody tried to call us, and I don't know if that was just we slipped up, like the sergeant tried to call us, but I thought we did. Yeah, the guy like signaling
The
out of the
cupola.
turret.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, and then it was the way that I interpreted my notes, because it was a little confusing to me too at the end, was that essentially the guys in the back truck were the ones who had like critical successes spotting the coming ambush, and so I just wrote it as that they start shooting at somebody, just or whatever. But that's how they alert us that we're being attacked.
Okay.
But I don't know what really happened, because that was the thing is we were like, okay, we're about to get into shit, let's cut it here. But what I recall of the what was happening was that two guys in the back truck had seen it. The rest of us were like, what? And yeah, we had like three or four fried radios in our vehicle.
Yeah, yeah. You had some bad luck Rose when it came to the radios. Very well, yes. The second MRAP starts firing. The M2 mounted in the cupola, the 50 caliber machine gun, just begins to chug rounds towards. Well, you're not really sure towards where because you are inside, and the situational awareness is limited here. So we are entering into a turn system. Oh, by the way, you hear the gunner from the second MRAP scream right before he starts shooting, "Ambush!" And then just the sound of the heavy machine gun just reverberating through the ravine that you are traveling in. So now we go. Now this is going to be interesting because this is our first combat in Delta Green, the first proper combat. Sean, I will need your help since you are taking notes. I would like for everyone who takes notes to also, of course, note the order of battle, just like we did in Warhammer.
Yeah.
So combat in Delta Green is pretty easy.
Dex based, right?
What?
Is it dex based?
Yes, it is dex based. So we count down by dex, and just for dex, we don't roll anything. The highest dex, of course, starts first. The lowest dex starts second. So I would like for all of you guys to tell me how much dex do you have, starting, of course, left to right. Rat, Agent Green.
Okay. Wait, pulling up. Dexterity, I have 15.
Okay, 15. What about Agent McLean?
Self-reliance.
I also have 15.
Okay, so we have a tie. So
I also have 15.
you're not making it easy on me.
We have a try.
Yeah. So I mean, Booker also has 15. Specialist.
Well, this is a regular old Mexican standoff.
Yes. In that case,
I forget how you break a tie in that case.
No, they occur at the same time, or I can choose some tiebreaker. So let's say that all of you act at the same time. It will be easier that way. You can make only a single action per turn. So you can, for example, like in World of Darkness, you can move and act. You either move or attack, for example. What you can do is aim, attack, make a cold shot, disarm, dodge, escape, fight back, move, pin, wait, or anything else. Which, of course, is anything else means something that is not described in the book, but you may want to do this. For example, drink a test tube full of glowing liquid, throw open an unlocked door, hit enter on a keyboard, grab a rope, reload a gun, stand up from a prone position, anything that takes a moment's concentration. The soldiers have 14, just so you know, all of them, except Booker. Booker has 15.
15, yeah, I got him.
And your enemies, they have. Interestingly enough, they don't have stats. That's strange. That's strange.
Well, they can go last.
I mean, they will. Yeah, they go last. Absolutely, yes.
Hopefully there
Okay.
aren't
I
hundreds
know.
of them.
I know where they have this right. Yeah, they go last, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, they have skills here. Okay, well, not very clear, but I'll manage. Oh, sorry. The last is your interpreter. Like he's the last. I mean, he's useless when it comes to fighting. He doesn't even have a gun, just so you know.
Yeah.
He only has body armor, and that's it. So, suddenly you hear gunfire, and a split second after the M2 opens up, you also hear, the dry cracks of AK-47s. They're coming from. Well, I mean, that's the thing. To to you, it's like they're coming from all directions, but you're not sure from where. You are in a small ravine, a serpentine ravine. It rises from the road on both sides. There are, of course, bushes and well, it's mainly just bush and rocks. So it's an ambush valley. It quickly turns into chaos. I want all of you to, of course, tell me what you want to do, starting from left to right with Rat. What are you doing?
Presumably my gun's in my lap, or...
Yeah. I mean, you are holding your guns right in front of you between your legs, I presume, or right next to you. They are practically ready, but you are inside the MRAP, just so you know.
I am curling up into a ball and trying to watch what the actual soldiers are doing.
Okay, very well. That's your declaration, and you are just watching the rest. Okay, Luke.
Yeah, I'm like keeping my head down, like making sure my helmet's on tight, like.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, like in a few seconds after the ambush, or maybe even just like 1-2 seconds after you hear the first shots, you also hear the pings of bullets from the armor of your vehicle. Sporadic for now, but they're like ping, 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 ricochets of bullets. Luke, what about you?
I'm in the front seat, aren't I?
I think so, yes, because
Yeah.
Mason and Rat and your interpreter are behind, but I think you are in the front seat. Yeah.
So I don't know what the window situation is. Obviously, we have a windshield to the front of us.
You have very small windows, but I believe you can't open them.
So I don't have a firing port in the door or anything like that?
The only firing port
You know what I mean?
I remember you saying something about firing ports in the back of the truck.
I'm actually looking at the MRAPs right now. They only have, I believe, the only place from where you can fire is the cupola.
Oh, okay, so there are no firing ports on the side. Okay.
No, I don't think so. I'm quickly going to check one
All right.
thing.
Well, I'm gonna try to. Do I have access to get out? Can I get to the back of the truck from where I'm sitting, or do I have to open my door to get out?
You can go back. Of course, you can get back. Yeah, sure.
Okay. I think I want to go in the back and try to determine.
Sorry to interrupt you. You know what? You have firing ports, because I am looking right now at the Cougar with the optional inbuilt firing ports. Yeah, you have them. Sure.
Okay, yeah, because I remember you saying that last time.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. It's not described again. It's not described in the scenario, so I had to really quickly check Cougar stats on Wikipedia. So yeah, there are firing ports, 3 on both sides, plus the cupola. So it's like 7 firing ports total, if you want.
Okay. So that's what I would like to do. Is I would like to get in the back. If I can tell what side our guy is firing to go to a port on that side and try to open it up. But that might be too many actions. Just generally, I'm going to go to the back and try to pick a side that I think the enemy is trying to contact us on.
Okay. So what essentially you want to do is to look around. I presume you don't have a military science land.
No, I don't think I do. I mean, basically, I'm just trying to figure out. First things first, I'm trying to figure out what side they're on.
Mm-hmm.
If I can determine that, and then I'm gonna. The general gist of it is I'm gonna go to a side, stick my gun out the gun port, and start blasting. So I started blasting.
Of course, classic.
But yes, I have no military science, I believe.
In that case, I would like for you. You make your way to the nearest firing port. You want left or right? I mean, it can be important for me, so that's why I'm asking you.
I'm gonna go to the passenger side of the vehicle, which was the same side that I was on, because I'm assuming they're from that side. So that would be to my left, the right-hand side of the vehicle.
Okay, so the right-hand side of the vehicle. All right. So I would like for you to now roll me minus 20% alertness test.
Minus 20 alertness.
You're making your way
Okay.
to the nearest ferry port, and you are, taking a peek through it, trying to see if you spot anything or anyone.
Fail.
Fail. Sadly, you don't see anything, but you have a feeling that the gunfire comes from the other side.
Okay.
It's just a hunch, maybe. Mason, what about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as Rut here. I'm gonna curl up into a ball and just say, "I've only got a shotgun. What the fuck am I supposed to do?"
Okay. Right. That's your declaration. Very well. Now, Bryant will. Sorry, it's first is Booker. I think he has military science. Infantry, not land. Interesting. Well, I mean, he's a grunt.
Oh, he is an infantry, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to roll minus 10% alertness from him. He also makes his way towards one of the ports, and quickly takes a look, takes a peek through. But he's like, the inside of the MRAP is essentially one huge chaos and just confusion. He's shouting, "Where the shots are coming from? Where the shots are coming from?" A split second after that, your gunner starts firing, and hot brass just few of the casings and the links fly inside. Not all of them, of course, but few of them, and the sound is this just thunderous roar of this heavy machine gun is almost deafening. I don't think that any of you has had military background, so for you it's practically the worst scenario that you ever gotten yourselves into. It's like Rat and Mason, you just want to curl up even more, and look, even you just jump from one firing port to the other, just trying to see what's happening, trying to spot a target, but you are also pretty terrified. So now we have. I'm going to roll for Brent. Actually, Brent has better perception than his friend. But he's also like, I don't know, should I drive? Should I drive? And of course, Booker yells at him, "No, you idiot! There's an IED in the road, in the middle of the road. Where the hell are they firing from?" And stuff like that. Now the soldiers. You of course don't see what's happening with the other MRAP, but. There are no extra troopers in your vehicle, but the other soldiers get out of the vehicle, of the second vehicle. Even though you don't know this, I'm going to tell this because it will be easier for me, and they are engaging the enemies. So I'm going to just roll for all of them, and 4 soldiers in the back, so 5 people. Okay. So first, I'll actually need to see if they'll spot anything. No, first one didn't. Second one did. Yeah, third one did. Nice. No, and Harding. Okay, so they are. I want all of you to roll me minus 30 alertness. You don't have to worry about botches. Because the men from the other MRAP jumped out of the vehicle, and they've just took a look around. Maybe some of them spotted the enemies, maybe some of them didn't, but they are trying to convey the information. Nice.
Okay, I don't know why it's not letting me. Oh, okay, I see what it is. Custom submit. Okay, there we go. That's why.
Is it minus 20?
Minus 30.
but no botches, so you don't have to worry about this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a good thing. Sorry, fumbles, not botches, fumbles.
Agent
Mason.
Parker lying in a ball on the ground figures out where they're coming from.
Mason, you think you hear through the din of battle, you think you hear the men from the second vehicle crying, left side, and forward, they are in front of us, stuff like that. You're not sure if you hear this correctly, but that's what you can pick up, through the thick walls of your metal. I don't want to say coffin, but prison maybe is a better word.
Got it.
And the gunner with the M2 will now start firing on the enemies. Nice roll. Once again, the nice. You hear the long burst from the other MRAP, and your gunner also blasts away, but you don't know how successful he is, sadly. So anyway, the the enemies are of course returning fire. And they will, some of them will try and probably do something rather nasty to your cupola gunner. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I thought I was like MRAPs are all well and good unless they start shooting like RPGs at us.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So
I mean, I guess they can withstand an RPG, at least a little.
So let's see how well they will manage. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, it's like hitting a barrel with a sledgehammer. The barrel's probably going to be fine. Anything inside of it's really fucked.
You mean I can't go over Niagara Falls in a barrel?
Ooh,
you can.
Like Indiana Jones can survive a nuclear blast with a refrigerator, so.
Yeah.
Christ.
Sounds like these are all hardcore.
GG, y'all. GG.
Okay, I need to see the stats for AK-47s now. Or rather,
They got a high penetration value.
Actually, sorry, assault rifles would be better. Actually. Oh, by the way, MRAP gives you protection, just so you know. I mean, obviously it provides 20 points of armor, just so you are aware of that. If someone can check the the rifle stats, they should be the same for your weapons as is for them.
Have to remember where I put that document. Come on now. That would be in the Agent's Handbook, maybe?
Yeah, it is in the Agent's Handbook, actually.
Okay, there, it's opening up.
Oh, actually, sorry, I think I already have it. Weapons, no. Firearms, yes. It's light rifle carbine. It's D12. Okay, it's D12.
Okay.
And it has 10% lethality, which... Oh, actually one of them rolled below. Nice. Nice.
I got it open here. It's D12.
Yeah, he got it.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Beep, boop.
They're not. By the way, they're not suppressing you. Just so you know. For now, they're just simple shots.
Mm.
Okay, nothing happened to him. Very good. So
Sweet.
what happens is that you hear and feel the impacts of heavy, 7.62 bullets on your MRAP's cupola. The gunner is like, "Oh shit!" and he instinctively ducks his head, but he's still holding the machine gun and just returns fire the best as he can. So yeah, so that's that. And that's the end of the first round. Now we enter the second round. Once again, Rat, tell me please, what do you want to do? Oh, no, also note the number of rounds. This is
Yeah.
starting the second one now.
Round 2, got it.
Is the enemy fire coming from my side of the vehicle?
You don't know. That's the thing. You have to spend a turn to try and orient yourself. To you,
Okay.
You are in the middle of a war zone and you are a civilian essentially. To you, the fire comes from all around, which of course may just be the case.
I'm gonna try and orient myself then.
Okay, so in order to do so, you can try and orient yourself just like you're now, sitting in the middle of the vehicle, or you can move towards one of the firing ports, just like McLean did, and take a peek through if you want.
I'm gonna peek through one of the firing ports.
Okay.
I guess on the opposite side of the vehicle.
On the opposite side, very well. So I would like for you to roll me minus 10%. Awareness or alertness or whatever.
Minus 10?
Yeah. Check. Yeah, alertness.
That's good.
Nice. Okay, so what do you see? I'm going to tell you. You are on the left side of the vehicle, and you see that about you see a fighter hiding in rocks at the top of the ravine, about probably 150 meters away. And since you had a very good roll, you also see another turban, poking like above the rock, about 50 meters from the first. How much successes did you have actually? Let me see.
50 meters further or 50 meters closer?
50 meters further from the enemy.
Gotcha.
I'm actually going to quickly create a map in a second. Actually, you had all of the successes, so I can just upload the map. I think for chat. Okay. And finally, Rat, because your MRAP stopped in a way that it's like it's not exactly pointing forward on the road. It's like slightly tilted. So you also see the front of the road. You see that the other MRAP moved forward and is now actually taking cover from one side near some rocks to the right. And you see a large group of fighters 100 meters behind behind the Cougar, the second Cougar, advancing towards it, firing. And now I'm going to upload the map. It will be much easier that way. It will be below the art pieces. Oh, it's also rather good. Oh, no, sorry. Wrong map! Spoilers. This is the good map. Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, and I don't even need to your MRAP is here. Second MRAP is here. Rat, you see, the first fighter that I've talked about is here. The second is here, and the group advancing towards you is here.
And we're MRAP 1.
MRAP 1 is here. This is your MRAP. MRAP 2 with
Okay.
Harding and the others is here. Oh, also you see that all of the soldiers except probably the driver and the gunner from MRAP 2 have emerged and they are returning fire or trying to return fire. Some of them still have trouble, spotting the enemy, but some of them are firing towards the fighters at the ridge, at the ravine. At the ridges above the ravine and towards the advancing party this here. So that's your declaration for this turn. Now let's go to Agent McLean.
Okay, so I'm unaware of what he sees at this point, just that he sees something.
Let's say that for a free action rat you can call out to your friends and convey a very short, simple message. What this message will be.
Bad guys, 150 yards.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's well. I mean, McLean, you know that he, he shouted that when he was on the other side than you are. So,
Yeah.
I figured they could put the rest together by which direction I'm looking in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, which way are you looking? Yeah. Okay, I'm
Your left or my left?
military left. Well, I know the approximate range of my gun, I think, and so
Yeah,
I
sure.
know that. Well, so I know I need to get out of this thing in order to, actually, I'm gonna order Bryant to drive us closer to the ravine edge.
You need to roll leadership.
Drive
for
us
that.
closer, I can hit him with my axe.
You
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
roll leadership because he will almost certainly don't want to move.
Okay.
You know why? He is afraid that there may be more IDs.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. What would leadership be? Is there an actual leadership? Would it be persuasion? My persuade sucks.
Yeah, persuasion actually, or let me quickly check.
I don't know. They don't have fast talk in this game, do they? I don't think so.
Human won't help, sadly.
Well, I also don't have any. So.
Yeah.
Oh no, I do. I have the bare minimum.
Okay.
Right.
Persuasion is probably fine, but it will be on minus 20%.
Okay. Minus 20%.
Yeah.
Well, I only have 20, so I.
So
Well, I guess I have to roll to see if I botch.
Actually, I don't remember. That's very bad for me. If this is a system in which, if you have 0% chance after modifiers, if you can even roll, because in Warhammer you always had 0-1, which was the ultimate success. But here I'm not sure that you can do this.
Well, no, but that's what I mean. As I think that not only can I not succeed, but I can critically fail.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying it, and then it's like, that was a bad idea.
I mean,
minus 20, you say?
Yeah. If you want, go for it. Try it. Why not?
Well, I mean, it's my gut reaction to be like, hey, drive us closer. Drive us over here so I can shoot at these guys.
Sure.
69. Yeah, baby.
Brian looks at you lewdly, but says no. No, you're trying to, you're shouting at him, drive us closer over there, and he's like, where the fuck is over there, man? Where the fuck is over there?
Yeah.
Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah, there you go.
Stuff like that. Yeah, I mean,
the
the kid is, by the way, panicking. Not panicking in a dangerous way, but you see that he's certainly regretting his life choices right now. So
only I joined the National Guard.
Yeah, let's say that this was a free action, so you still have one more to do.
Oh, me?
Yeah, because because you didn't do anything else. You just tried to convince him to move. So if you want, for example, to move to one of the firing ports where Rat is, and see through it.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll go to the firing port and
okay. And now,
please
roll me basic
alertness.
Alertness, yeah, because Rat told you where the enemies are, approximately. So you should roll. Yeah, you see the same thing that he saw. Exactly the same thing. Like team 1, team 2, and the largest one, team 3. You think that the fighters coming, over the road, they are probably the largest team of assailants. You're not sure exactly how many of them are, but you think probably like maybe 6 or 7. While on the ridges you see like 2, 3, maybe 4 fighters. You're not sure. They are of course like popping out, taking a few pot shots, and then hiding. Oh, by the way, Rat and McLean, one thing you noticed, both when it comes to the team on the road and on the ravine, you see that some of them have the very characteristic shapes of RPGs on them.
Yeah.
And especially the teams on the ridge, you are. It looks like some of them are preparing the rocket-propelled grenade launchers to fire.
I don't suppose I have any time to yell RPG.
No, not
Okay.
after you've
that's fine.
cried to Bryant, to drive closer. But you can do this next turn if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say it as I get out of the vehicle.
Sure.
As I bail out.
Mason, what about you?
Is there a door on the side facing the opposite ridge? The ridge away from the operatives?
Only, I believe only...
Or is it just a back door?
Only a back door. The only doors on the side are, for the passenger
Driver
and
and
the
passenger.
driver. Yeah, and that's it.
Gotcha.
So the only other doors are out back. Or you can, of course, try and get out through the cupola, but there's still a man sitting inside and firing the Browning.
Well, I don't want to interrupt his job. He's already busy.
Yeah.
I want to go. Which way does the door open up? Does it open up facing when it's open? Is it facing away, like towards the opposite? I have no way to describe this. Will I have cover if I open the door?
Yes, you will.
Okay,
Yes, you will.
there we go. I'm going to open the back and get out behind our MRAP, away from the firing from Team 1 and Team 2.
Very well. Okay, so you're opening the door, you're dashing outside, and then you're just essentially like here's your MRAP,
Yeah.
and here's like you go here, I presume, right?
I'm readying my weapon.
Okay, your shotgun, sure. Booker, the medic, also gets out. Oh, by the way, all the while, your interpreter is just almost comatose with fear, just laying on
He's
on
having
one
a
of
good
the
time.
seats in the MRAP and just shitting himself in fear.
Do we all notice this, or just Mason?
That your interpreter is scared shitless? All of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why does it smell in here?
I mean, not literally, but he's very afraid and he's like almost sobbing with fear. So that's Booker's declaration. The soldiers, your LMG gunner takes aim at one group on the ridge and just blasts away. Ooh, and he simply both you Green and both you McLean, you see that one of the fighters simply just disintegrates when hit by a stream of 50 caliber depleted uranium bullets. He just his head disappears, his shoulder disappear. There's this bone and blood mist in the air for a split second, but the other fighters, they don't seem to care that much. Now, I don't want you to roll for your sanity yet, but just so you know, in Delta Green, even if you kill a cultist who's very evil, very bad, and very, very naughty, you will probably need to roll to see how this affects you, unless, of course, you are accustomed to violence, which you can be at some point, but it's not easy. Anyway, the fighters, the rest of the fighters, they are charging towards the second MRAP, and they are trying to to shoot the American soldiers who emerged from the vehicle. The soldiers return fire. It's all pandemonium. It's all chaos. The few fighters on the ridge, they once again try to take pot shots at your gunner, the one who just killed one of their comrades, but only 2 return fire right now. So one of them, that's actually a very good roll, and the other one missed horribly. Suppression, tight rating, damage bonus. Quickly see. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, here it is. The critical hits. Double damage. Right. So normally,
Looks like I'm going to get my wish of using a machine gun.
normally it's 2d 2d12. Okay, so I need to roll 1d12 and then double it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You roll one die and double it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's easier.
One.
Nothing happened.
Not bad.
So once again, McLean and Green, you once again hear, the cupola gunner is like, holy shit, when he ducks inside as the bullets hit the protective armored shield of his cupola. Certainly those fighters, they may be, they may be just men from the hills, but they know how to handle weapons, and they do pose a real and present threat. But that's that. Now we are entering turn number 3. Okay, so please let's start once again from the left. Tell me, Green, what are you going to do? By the way, both of you noticed that Parker left the vehicle.
But we still have the machine gunner here, and we have the interpreter. Is there anybody else in the vehicle?
Yes, Bryant, the driver. Yeah.
Okay. Can I yell and shoot?
Yes. I mean, depends on what you want to yell.
I want to yell because I don't know the difference between a bazooka RPG. I'm going to say bazooka. 150 yards, driver's side. And
Watch out! The boom tube.
I don't expect to hit the guy, but I don't want them to fire whatever they have at us right now. So I want to at least get them to duck their heads,
Okay, just
covering fire.
Just be aware that you are beyond your weapon's effective range, because M4 has 100 meters effective range. They are approximately 150 meters. You can still try to hit them, but it won't be easy.
Well, if we can get them to get their heads down, maybe. Yeah. I just want to spray at them, basically.
So you want to fire full out on them? Yes, that's.
Yeah, because my next turn I'll probably be jumping out the the door there, but I had to warn everybody.
Okay. So you are trying to you are sticking your M4's barrel through the firing port. You take aim at the rocks that these men are hiding behind, and you just let rip with your weapon.
Suppressing fire.
Yeah, I guess that's what they call it around here.
Yeah.
I've played Space Hulk.
Now
Overwatch.
in my mind, I'm shooting, and then I'm immediately jumping out the opposite side of the vehicle. I know that's another turn, but I don't know if you want to give me a relevant modifier. I'm not expecting to hit anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Let me just quickly see. Machine gun, no. This is. By the way, first of all, you have lethality of 10% on your rifle. You have Q radius 1 to 3 meters, but the men are so spaced out that you will only be able to actually just hit one of them. Honestly, they're not.
What?
They're not that
What's the
close.
kill radius again?
Q radius is that, for example, if like Q radius of 3 meters means that you can hit that everything within 3 meters of the first target can immediately die. Like grenades use Q radius, machine guns use Q radius because you just spray a certain like area with fire, and when you do this, the lethality rating comes into play. Lethality rating means that if you roll 10% or lower when you are firing the weapon, you kill the target immediately, unless they have some kind of armor and protection. Then they will need to then they don't roll for it, but they take damage equal to how much you rolled on your on D100 when you were shooting them. So you can still practically kill them with just one burst, but it's like lethality rating in this game is where it's at. The higher lethality rating, the better. So M4, for example, has 10%, but the heavy machine gun that the guy in the cupola uses has 20%. And rocket-propelled grenade has 30%. And Q radius of 10 meters. So everything within 10 meters just has a 30% chance to die immediately when hit.
What's the kill radius on the M4A1?
1 to 3 meters, essentially.
1, 2.
Yeah. If a weapon has a kill radius, a successful attack inflicts a lethality roll on each character in that radius, so you roll separately for each character. The center of the kill radius is the initial target of the attack. A failed attack roll means the kill radius lands harmlessly outside the intended area. The attack does no harm, but it may still suppress targets. Whether a failed kill radius attack does unwanted collateral damage is up to the handler, essentially. And many targets. An attack with kill radius usually affects everyone in the kill radius. If that makes no sense for the attack, the handler can decide who gets hit or allow luck roll for escaping harm. That's how this rolls. Yeah. So I just need to see how exactly does a long burst works, because it's not explained very well. Apologies for the delays, but this is also almost the first time that I'm running this. So
I'm just gonna run and get another drink real quick.
Oh yeah, and the M4 has a lethality rating only on full auto if you want to fire it. So you can do this if you wish, Brian.
Okay. What's the skill percentage?
The skill percentage, this is the thing that I'm trying to find right now. This is the attack modifiers. And let me quickly see. Okay, yeah, here it is. So first of all, you have minus 20% because you are beyond base range, which means that you have sadly minus 20%. You didn't took a turn aiming through the ACOG that you have, which would help, but it's a whole turn. Target is not prone or running. They are like kneeling behind the bushes and small rocks, but they are not prone or running, so I'm not going to give you any more penalties here. Melee attacks doesn't count, so for now you only have minus 20%. And now I just need to see how exactly does full auto work. Type of fire, selective fire. This is you use 20 bullets from your weapon. You don't get any bonuses. It simply means that you have the lethality of 10% and you have potential kill radius of 3 meters, and that's it. If that's what you were asking.
Okay, so for now the skill percent is minus 20, I guess.
Yes, and you will be suppressing him, which means that I will need to roll after. I mean, assuming that you of course hit the target, or even hit somewhere near the target with your spray. I will need to roll suppressive fire. Oh, sorry, actually, wait a second, because I found this. Some small arms like submachine guns and assault rifles have selective fire. The shooter chooses how it's used. Each pull of the trigger can fire a single shot, a short burst, a long burst, a short spray, or a long spray. A weapon set for single shots attacks normally. A burst or a spray has a lethality rating. A short burst fires 3 bullets in one trigger pull. It affects a single target. A long burst fires 5 shots with a Q radius of 1 meter. Short and long sprays empty the magazine faster but cover a larger Q radius. Some firearms allow only single shots. So I think that explains the
I guess like short spray then
okay.
is what I'm going for.
Suppression also only works with a Q radius rule. So, for example, you wouldn't suppress a target with a single shot, but with a burst, which does potentially, which uses the lethality rating rules, you can suppress the target. Actually, Q radius. Even if the attack roll misses, your agent's fluid nervous system forces him to go to the ground. Your agent must either find cover or go prone. As his or next action, your agent can stifle his or her terror and act normally at a cost of 1 sanity point. Yeah, so that's that. So I would suggest that you use long burst, not short, because actually no, use short burst because you only target a single guy. So you still have lethality rating, but you use less ammo. So I suggest 3 round burst.
So it's a
So
three. It's a 3 round burst.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 177 left then.
Okay. I mean, you have.
Is that right?
No, you have M4.
Yes.
M4 has.
Well, it's 30 per clip, so
30
you
per
have.
clip, so you have 27 after that.
Excuse me.
Magazine.
Yeah, sorry, magazine.
Sorry, magazine. My favorite magazine is
Fuck
Cosmo.
you up. I'll fuck you up if you hear this. I'll fuck you up.
127, you said?
You
No,
have
well, no. So each because you're gonna have to reload after 30 shots.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 27 left in that current magazine.
I follow you.
Yeah.
I forget. We had 6 30 round clip.
God damn it!
magazines. Sorry. Hey.
Yes, you have 6 additional magazines.
Okay, so I'm gonna try rolling then.
Yeah, minus 20%, and that's just it.
I've entered there. Okay, 1 second.
I'm gonna join the military and become head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff so I can change it to clips.
Okay, make sure this rolled right because I did it right from my character sheet.
You wrote 51%. You have M4A1 assault rifle. I don't know how much firearms do you have?
Well, that's just it.
I rolled it from the character sheet, so it should. I have 40 firearms.
Okay, it looks like it might not have done it.
Yeah, I mean, but
do I need to enter the 40 myself?
Let me quickly check. I mean, if you have 40, you failed because you need to roll 21. Let me see, firearms. Well, actually, that's strange because you have this checked. But
well, I think
there's a skill percentage in the weapons part.
Oh, look, now you need to roll. You need to click on the
firearms.
Yeah, I think because I've clicked on the firearms right now with a modifier of 20%, and this is what it rolled.
Okay.
But of course, I'm also interested in M4. Because you have look with your M4, you didn't enter skill. You see?
So my skill is 40?
Yeah, you need to enter 40. Same with your water. And that way, when you roll, it should work normally.
And melee weapons for the knife?
Melee weapons, I think it's your melee weapon skill, I believe. Yeah, melee weapons, so 30% in your case.
Steven Seagal over here.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't.
50.
Where do you add that? Do you add it once you hit the rolling thing?
No, you add it to your character sheet.
Oh no, I see it right there. Yeah, okay, I do
Yeah.
have it added.
You have the skill percent column,
Yeah, yeah.
and you enter
Yeah.
the appropriate number there, and then you
Oh,
just
no,
roll,
I
and
do.
yeah, and it should work fine. Or you can
Yes.
of course just do what I did and just click on the
Yeah.
firearms and to roll. Yeah, I want to say Steven Seagal is of the sexual assault allegations. So yeah. Mm, so
Steven Seagal minus the
yeah, Rat,
sexual assault allegations.
what you did?
Sorry.
What you did, you fired this 3-round burst towards one of the fighters. You don't see you don't see the details on them. When you've spotted the team advancing, through the road, you thought that for a split second you saw this this man heavily bearded and dressed in mostly long black clothes with turbans on their heads. You thought that you saw mad glint in their eyes, but despite this, they are attacking your small convoy in a very disciplined, or ordained manner. So that's doubly scary. When you fire this 3-round burst at one of the fighters on the ravine, you don't think you hit him, but you saw that he did. He did hit behind the rock. Apparently, the burst from your assault rifle was more than enough to test this man's nerves. So that's that. Luke, Agent McLean, your turn. What are you doing?
Okay, I'm going to.
You're
far away?
Oh, yeah, far away, Sean.
Sorry,
No
I
worries.
am far away. I am. No, I just moved my microphone up and forgot that it was up
No
on my
worries.
forehead. So I would like to exit the vehicle and take cover on the opposite side from where the fire's coming from,
So
that I
right
can.
next to Parker, essentially.
Yeah, so that I can scan around and look for cover to start getting around somewhere to shoot at these
Okay.
assholes.
Let's just take a 5-minute break, okay? Or 10 minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I'll just sit here and hang out.
We're like hella fucked, right?
Yeah, probably. But, as long as I get to blam a couple times before I get killed, I'll be alright.
This is all because that jackass of a captain wouldn't give me a fucking grenade launcher.
Yeah, I agree. Wouldn't let me have my own saw.
A lot of problems in life can be solved by its fucking grenade launcher.
Mm-hmm. I agree. We should have asked for a flamethrower too.
Yeah.
Although that you gotta get up a little close and personal for that, but Oh shit. Yeah. Well, I'm just so my general gist is somewhere behind this MRAP there's got to be a place where I can start trying to get a vantage point on these guys and shoot back at them, because right now I can't. All of our shots are just going to be praying that the guys duck down because they're too far away.
Yeah.
Which I guess. So I didn't look. I guess their type of rifles has 150 meter range, whereas ours only has 100. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. If somebody gets hit, I guess I can like rub their neck with some aloe vera or something. But
Yeah.
I'm not really. A shotgun's not the best thing here. Wide open spaces.
No, I mean, well, technically they should have as shitty a range as us if they're firing AKs, but whatever. They aren't hitting anybody right now. Although I guess one thing that they probably do have better than us is that they might actually have some firearm skill. So yeah, the pigeon out front has been there all week. Has been like camped out on the front. I have to pick up the dog when we take her out for a walk so that the dog won't maul it to death. And this morning, I'm like, "Where's this pigeon? I don't see it." So I don't know. Don't know if he's finally flown away or what happened.
He's either flown away or he's flown away.
Yeah. It's gone to Jesus.
Bird Jesus.
Yes, bird Jesus. That's
Every species has its own version of Jesus.
right.
That's what Daddy told me.
There you go. That works. I can
I
get
told you
behind
about
that.
how my boss accidentally called me Daddy, right? I go by my last name, which is Dottie.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not that far of a jump to see that happening. But I'm sitting there doing some like data entry stuff for him, and right on the Rotovaps line, so there's like 4 other chemists there. And he's like, "Thanks for doing that, Daddy." And just all work stops. Everybody's looking at him. Like, what? It's like, you just called Michael Daddy. It's like, no, I didn't. Like, I mean, and I was like, immediately pull the Brooklyn Nine-Nine thing. It's like, Ryan, do you see me as a father figure? I mean, you're older than me. That's fine. I mean, do you want to go play some catch?
I thought you were gonna go the other way and be like, "You said we weren't supposed to tell anybody."
Ryan, not at work. Not at work.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get such a whipping for this.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, actually, I had, well, not yesterday when I was coming back from the restroom back to the gaming table. My friend's wife was like, "Hey, babe, can you take a look at this?" And I was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Sure, let me take a look at it." She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were Nelson." It's like, "No, but I'll look at it for you. Why not?"
So this is somebody's house that y'all are having a big tournament at?
Yeah, he likes to. He likes to. It wasn't a tournament. It was just 4 of us playing. We played a 600 point each battle. Just.
Sounds nice.
And I thought we were divvying up. So like I thought I was fighting the guy across from me. But no, it was just we were sort of all diagonally opposed from, like, they were both good players across from me and sitting to my left, and then I was evil and there was evil, and my friend Nelson was evil diagonally across from me, and so it was like, oh well, I need to get across this river.
Rough.
Yeah, well, I was like, oh, I need to get across this river. I'm just going to run across this bridge, and then that took me close to the elves, and they started charging down on me when their horses and shit.
I remember going to an event like this at a place in, well, if I say Clear, you have no idea what I mean. About an hour and a half away. And like, I got there, I was under the assumption, it was a bolt action event. I was under the assumption that it was just going to be paired off, 6 people, playing paired off. No, they wanted to do 6 people in one game, and I was like, almost ready to, like I had my stuff in the container. I was ready to start getting stuff out, and I was like, no, I don't want to be here for 10 hours. Bye.
Yeah, well, this is like he pulls out drinks, and he made like a stew for us to have for dinner afterwards, and so I mean he likes to entertain us, so we spent a lot of time shooting the shit, and so
That's
I mean
nice.
it takes us probably longer than it should just to play the amount we played. I think we ended up playing probably like 8 or 9 turns, but
like I might be doing that for like me and my brother playing an apocalypse game over the holidays.
Yeah,
But like I can't really entertain that. I suppose I can make a stew. I've got some stuff that I'm big into doing like long form cooking projects, so I've got like I just bottled all of my mead. It's got to sit for a month, but it's like 5 gallons of mead. I've got 8 wheels of farmer cheese that'll be ready in about 3 weeks.
Oh wow!
And I'm I've got a bunch of meat and fat sitting in the fridge that I'm going to be casing sometime this week for sausages.
Beautiful. Nice.
Boy, I'm going real old world on this shit.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's pulling out all the stops. Sounds good though. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, he's just one of those guys. He likes to kind of entertain, so that was good. But yeah, we always just would just take out. It's like, oh, we're starting at 12, and I don't think we started rolling dice till probably 1:30. So there's a lot of that going on. They were talking about Horus Heresy forever.
I've got a lot of friends that are into it, and I'm just like, I don't want to ever paint Marines again in my life. I'm okay. I've got a pretty sizable Solar Auxilia force, but I'm just waiting on their rules.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was my thing. Is I was like, oh, I don't know anybody that plays guard. I'll whip up some guard, and they get my ass handed to me every game. I'm like, well, okay,
right.
Maybe that's why people don't play guard, or whatever they're called now, Astra Militarum.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, you don't know shit here, bud. You don't know the amount of pain the amount of salt that I have been laying down as a guard player. With the fact that, like, oh, we're gonna release Space Dwarves before we release a Guard Codex.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Why not? Why not?
3 years. It's been 3 fucking years.
Yeah.
I just
My
want my
understanding is
Australians to be good.
The leagues of Votan have really thrown everything out of whack.
I mean,
Like,
yeah, they're cool. Fuck a doodle doo. Wait till fucking 10th edition.
Like it's thrown any semblance of balance in the game is like it turns the power creep up to a 10. You know what I mean?
The game's not terribly overbalanced right now. Once that drops, it's pretty overbalanced.
Yeah.
Like, if you're playing one of the tournament bullshit lists for Necrons, or the tournament bullshit list for fucking White Scars, yeah, you could probably table a bunch of people, but you're gonna get 1-2 games maybe, and then no one's gonna want to play with you. Like, I'm just happy when they put out a codex that obviously has flaws, but is still pretty good. So, like, Eldar is pretty good, and they nerfed the thing that needed to be nerfed. I'm okay here. But for some reason, Genestealer Cult still has the fucking Sanctus.
Yeah.
It's just, like, the lore behind it of, like, hey, here's this Genestealer Cult guy who automatically hits with a sniper rifle no matter what he's shooting at. And it does 3 damage plus a mortal wound if it hits on a 6, or if it wounds on a 6.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, cool. How come my my 10,000-year-old Eldar sniper guy can't do that?
Because he hasn't seen the glory of the.
He has
Of the
literally seen
father.
the glory of a god being born.
Yes.
So, what do you think the Tyranids are going to bring us when they invade our planet? Democracy?
The who?
Probably democracy, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're fighting towards, right? As a Genestealer Cult.
Yeah. It's a meritocracy.
Yeah, a representative republic.
There you go.
Yeah. Anything's better than the Empire at this point. Is Michael okay?
I don't know. He kind of had
Yeah,
to get
it's taking
upset.
a while. I was just thinking that.
Yeah, well, it seemed pretty sudden, so maybe something's going on.
Had to poop.
That can be a thing.
I spent a good 3 hours yesterday. I hadn't touched my backyard in probably a year.
Oh yeah, I saw that picture. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, it didn't look good when I went out there.
Yeah.
Man, there was the grass was probably about 5 inches high. There was just like weeds that had grown into trees.
Yeah. Sometimes though, in a way that's easier because you're not being mamby pamby. You're just slashing and burning.
Yeah, it was great, man. Like I felt great afterwards. I still gotta build my grill.
That'd be nice.
It would.
Oh, yeah, it's finally starting to get decent out here. Oh, dudes. So, I finally finished my first panel of chainmail, 16 by 20 inches.
I
Saw
saw that
that.
on Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and
some
I
torture for
started
yourself.
working. What's that?
A little bit of self torture, a little bit of masochism.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so it's at least it's EVA foam, so it's not like I'm you know ending wire and snipping
Destroying
it
your
and
hands. Yeah.
yeah, destroying my hands. Yeah, exactly. So, but no, so like the super glue accelerator I got, it's like boom,
Oh, you got some
Eh,
zip kicker or something?
yeah. Well, I bought because the guy who designed the chainmail, he's like, oh, use this Starbond flexible cyanoacrylate. So I'm like, okay. So I got that, and it was taking forever to dry. I was just like, what the hell? This is not super glue. So then I saw that the Starbond brand, they're like, oh, you can buy this squirt bottle of accelerator.
Is this for a kid's
Uh,
costume or cosplay or something?
yeah, that's what it's for. But I started working on the foam sword, and everything was going fine until I tried gluing it together with the contact cement I bought, and it was like instantly drying on the thing. I couldn't like smear it smooth or anything. I was like, what
Yep.
the fuck? And I was like, oh, this says it has a working temperature between 50 and 90 degrees. I guess being outside in Phoenix at 95 degrees with the tube
Yep.
in the sunshine probably is outside its operating temperature. Like,
I know
fuck.
that. I know that, Jazz man. Here in Bama, I know that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you've got humidity too. See, that's the thing. Is it's like it's not humid here at all, but like the humidity probably makes it set like as soon as you put it out the bottle.
Yep. I've had the issue of like, uh, on my lunch break at work, it's like I could actually use some more super glue. Stop by the store, grab some, put it in the car, and then by the time I get off work, come back to the car, and it's just solid in the bottle.
That I've never had that happen, but that sucks. But that might explain why I have a lot of a lot of old super glues that are fucked up. But actually, my thing was the modeling putties, like the squadron putty. That shit, I can't I can't seem to keep a good.
Millie putt tends to hold up pretty well. Everything else
Yeah,
falls apart.
yeah, yeah. Well, I finally got some super fine because I was working off some old yellow putt, and I think it's a
Yeah.
little abused. And it's also it's just harder to work with.
Like
Super
I've
fine
got
white is a
some
little bit easier.
I've got some Crusaders I'm gonna kit bash here in a couple of days, and I'm just like,
Cool.
I've got like enough milli putt to get the details that I want to get done on these,
Hmm.
but none of the stores around here carry milli putt, and I really don't want to order it from fucking Britain.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
like that I feel bad if I do that.
Yeah. Well, I usually order. I don't know. I don't think it came from Britain. I think I ordered it off of Amazon, but I could be wrong. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've mostly just been using it because I was getting pissed off with all these fucking uh, seams and mold lines in these plastic figures. Oh, I also had a good thing. I was getting stuff out of the crate I took down, and of course I broke my fucking troll off his base.
Aw.
And I was like, God damn it, because it was just like 2 seconds before I got online here. I was like, oh, let me just grab this out of the box. Crack. I'm like, fuck. I mean, fortunately, it's you just stick him back in the hole, and maybe I'll probably pin him this time, but it's just like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Uh,
I worry about that anytime I have to transport one of my bigger Eldar things.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, I mean, what I should do is, just get a bigger box and put him in it, but I'm not that bright. I, um, so there you have it.
Point now it's 4.5. Wait, let me think. 5 months to go until our kid's out, and I told Chi, I was like, all right, I'm not buying any plastic for myself anymore. Anything I get new that's plastic is a gift from somebody. And out of the blue, she got home before I did and got the mail and it's like there's a big old package from GW. And she angrily calls me. She's like, "What's this?" It's like, "Oh, yeah, that's a night I ordered like 3 weeks ago that they finally sent me. That's cool."
Yeah. Oh, that was totally before I told you that I wasn't buying any more shit.
That's that Night Castellan I ordered like a month ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's legit.
Yeah, all late packages are still going to come through.
Yeah, I've got the Blood and Plunder Kickstarter I ordered like 3 years ago about to show up anytime now.
Boy, it's about time, man. I know that feel, man. I got some buddies that got into Blood and Plunder that like all the boats arrived real quick, but all the like bodies, they're still waiting.
Wait, from the first one? From the first Kickstarter?
The first Kickstarter, they got the sloop and they got a couple of boats, and they got like some of the smaller stuff, like some of the smaller bodies, but they're still waiting on some of the shit.
Really? That's crazy.
Just,
yeah. Well,
if you're gonna
like
start a Kickstarter project like that, at least get your fucking logistics right.
Yeah.
Well, that's like I still haven't painted. I went all in on the Pantheon of Chaos. You remember that from a few years back?
Yeah.
Nightmare Games guy. And he pissed me off so bad I still haven't painted any of that shit. So it was like what the fuck? I see all these people online, they're getting all their shit, and why am I not getting anything? He's like, oh, well.
I just refuse to do Kickstarters at this point, man. It's just so bad.
Well, good Kickstarters are good, but there are some real stinkers.
Yeah, if there is a person that I am aware of that I know is good, I'll probably help. But like when Joe put out the new Frostgrave stuff, I'll always throw a Kickstarter on that. Sure.
Okay, sorry for the delay, but I'm back.
No worries.
Right, where were we exactly?
I had just McLean had just jumped out of the vehicle and was taking cover next to Parker and Booker on the opposite side from the firing.
McLean.
Okay. I think I just broke my chair.
Uh-oh.
That's unfortunate. How bad is it?
I mean, like it's one of those like hydraulic, rise and fall things, and the hydraulic thing just broke.
Oh, okay.
So I am very short right now.
Is anybody else hearing like little doodly doos going off, or is that just me?
Well, there are the desert sounds in the background, if that's what you're asking.
No, I'm getting like a boop boop, like that.
No. Beep boop.
You don't hear it?
No.
Okay. All right.
Are you having
maybe it's something on Discord. maybe one of the other channels is something's going on, and I don't know. I don't understand. I honestly completely do not understand Discord. I mean, I can get it.
I kind of hate it actually.
Yeah, I can get it to work, but I get all these things. And I'm like, so and so mentioned you in a comment, and I'm like, really? Where the fuck did they do that?
Well, I mean, if you guys
gotta scroll through 30 days of text, like.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want, you can just switch to Skype next time. So
No. It's fine. No. I mean, it's working perfectly for us. I'm just saying in general because I started joining a couple of different groups.
Oh, right.
And so it's this other group. People are sending lots of texts and whatever.
We're back. We'll get a different chair.
Okay.
It's like trying to participate in 30 different chat rooms at once. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's why I don't. I have like 7 other groups, but I only really post in one in our heresy Polish community, and the other I don't care. I can jump from time to time, check messages, but I usually don't even do that.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. That's why I don't I only use it in the browser mode now because it's not as in my face.
Okay.
Because when I had the app actually running and logged on, it was always like, hey, I'm like, god damn it. And I did get the app from my phone because I figured like, okay, if it's like Facebook Messenger or something where people just want to say like, hey, what's up, maybe I can do it that way. But it's just the general gist of it. Yeah, is that it's like being in a it's exactly like being in a Facebook Messenger chat where people are just like at all hours of the day and night, just saying shit on it, and you're like, yeah, and then having to, because that's when I was talking to those guys in that group in England, the majority of them, there were like some guys in Australia, most of the guys in Europe, and a couple guys in America, and it was just like you'd wake up in the morning and it'd be like, they'd been talking about shit all day in England, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it would be like if you and I were in a chat room, with like 30 other people. Well, maybe not 30, but like 20 people, and across the time zones, it just gets really weird.
Yeah, that's why I only really write in a group that's in my time zone, so I don't have that problem. But I get you,
Yeah.
Sean. Yeah, that can be disorienting.
Yeah. Well, this one is like this one I'm looking at right now is it's the Valley of the Lord of the Rings. So it's a group that got set up to play Middle Earth games around Phoenix area.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's the one that, but that's the one that like I get emails saying like, hey, so and so mentioned you in a comment. I'm like, okay, and it said it was in this thing, but I'm like, I not this particular one, but a previous one. I was like, where was this?
Okay.
Who's talking to me? What do they want from me?
Okay.
Just
when
text
did you-
everyone all the time. Hey, everyone.
Yeah. Well, I just they're talking about next Sunday. They're talking about having a tournament somewhere down in Tempe, and so I was like, oh, I might try to come down and get that. I don't know.
Is that how you say it? I'm like almost 40 years old. I've only ever seen it in writing. Tempe?
Oh yeah, Tempe.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Yeah, we call it Tempe.
Funny thing,
Tempe.
until recently, I believe that Brian is actually younger than me. And I think I'm
well,
the,
you yeah, you thought you were
I
the
just
oldest.
turned 38 in July.
I mean, not the oldest. I knew that you were older, Sean. Sorry, but no, just kidding. But I thought that Brian was younger than me. I knew that you and Andy are older than me. I think Jason was like what? I think he also was older than me because you guys met in high school, Brian, right?
Yeah, he's like a year and a half older than me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was on the younger end of the class. He was on the older end.
And I'm not sure about Michael. How old is he?
What's up?
How old are you?
He's a young man.
I just turned 33 like 13 days ago.
Okay, so you are younger than me in that case. Nice.
And you still haven't said happy birthday. Fuck you, Michael.
Happy birthday, and fuck you too. Anyway, where
33
were
punches.
we? Last time you've joined not Brian, Booker and Parker outside.
Yes.
And Parker, what are you doing? What is the plan here?
Plan?
Yeah.
As
Survive,
I recall,
obviously.
he was bitching about not having a
Plan?
grenade launcher.
Yeah, this is all that fucking captain's fault, man. Well, they say don't leave anybody behind, but I'm not really in the army, so.
But I'm an army of one.
Army strong, army mad. Yeah, I don't even know where. I know they're from the left. I don't know the distance because I'm not one of the people that made that alertness check. I kind of want to try and group up with the second MRAP to tag to them, but I mean, are we good over here?
The way that you are positioned right now is that you practically have almost complete cover from the two teams on the ridge, and you also don't really see that team number, like the road team, would pose any significant threat to you. For now, of course,
Gotcha.
remember that what I saw earlier, that the teams on the ridge, they do have rocket-propelled grenades.
All right. Now, from the MRAP, they're pretty far off. I'm gonna run up into the hills to the side, that is away from them.
Okay.
And mainly, I want to get off the road and try and make my way over to where I can just run straight down to the second MRAP.
Okay, so you're making like this.
Serpentine,
This
serpentine.
circle
I don't know
move.
if I can interact with the map at all. Let's see here.
I think you can paint on it. Yeah. I think
One
you
sec.
should.
I'll get there.
I pull out my my iPod and I play "Run to the Hills" by Iron Maiden.
I want to do it like this.
I don't see anything. Oh no, I do see. Okay, yeah.
I mistook Team 3 as the other MRAP, but yes, I want to go up into the hills. And stuff like that.
I hide behind the attacking warriors.
Okay, sure. You are trying to do just that. So just so you know, this will take quite some time.
How do I erase that?
You just click on the
Yeah.
on the red line like this, and you
Yeah.
click delete.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oops.
All right, yeah, but I'm wanting to do this.
Okay, sure. So, McLean, you see that Parker sprints uphill.
Do I need to make a roll for this at all?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay.
You will eventually. You will need to roll me probably an exhaustion roll, because this is quite. First of all, you need to run uphill. It's very hot, by the way. You know, move.
Thank
between
you. I work out.
No worries. Move between rocks, stuff like that, and I assume that you want to do this as fast as possible. So
Yep.
yep. So that's that.
Cool.
After Parker, we have Booker. Booker just tries to he pops out and he takes a few shots towards the approximate location of the fighters in the hills, and then he just hides behind the vehicle once again. He is not taking any chances. He's your medic, so he knows that he's essential to your survival. So he won't do anything stupid. The team number one, they will do something completely different this time, and they will try and suppress you guys behind MRAP number one. They will simply just unleash their AKs on full auto. And from team number two, actually, you only now you realize that they have that they have some kind of LMG, probably a PKM machine gun or something like that. They will also, I mean, they are firing at the MRAP number two, and soldiers clustered around and behind it. But you hear the characteristic sound of a support weapon being fired. This long bursts, almost fully automatic. So, the Hill Warriors. Let's see. So only two. Okay, only two. And yeah, they are also beyond the
The caffeine is starting to hit. I'm good, boys.
nice. Yeah, actually that's true, McLean. You can get your LMG from the Hill Warriors if you want. Okay, first one. Ooh, nice. Right, so one long burst flew over your heads and struck the area between you, McLean, and Parker, who's running up the hill. The other, and didn't do anything. The other struck the MRAP and the ground near it, and actually this was a close call. This was a very close call. So yeah, and this will probably require. Let me see. Yeah. This will require from you, McLean, either you need to go prone, or you can stifle your terror and act normally, but at the cost of 1 sanity point.
This is for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can go prone, or I can lose a sanity point. Let me see how many sanity points I have before I make that decision.
Because those bullets hit really, really, really close.
Okay. I'll take the sand hit because I want to do something next round.
Yes, very well.
Besides just stand up.
Yeah.
So I will take down to. Why is my keyboard? Okay, there we go. 43.
Okay. So, well, the bullets are hitting the ground right next to you. You just stew yourself, and you see that Booker also does the same thing, even though he he hugged the side of the MRAP tightly. You think that you're not sure how the battle between MRAP number 2 and its passengers and the rest of the fighters is faring, but given the screams and the gunshots, your guess is that it's fierce and unrelenting. Your gunner once again tries to hit the fighters on the hill. Sadly, you suddenly hear this click, jam on the turret,
Shit.
and you hear this fuck.
Clear that jam, soldier.
Yeah, the heavy MG mounted on MRAP number 1 simply failed to cycle the round properly and jammed completely. Sadly. Now, I presume that this is round number 4.
Yes.
Round number 4, and we are starting with Rat. Rat, you've unleashed the short burst from M4. You also hear the characteristic click, of the heavy machine gun, and there's no more this thudding fire from above you. You hear the string of invectives, from the mouth of the young soldier who was operating it. He desperately tries to clear the jam, but what is your course of action?
I'm gonna start scrambling out the opposite side. I guess that would be the passenger side.
You can't really do this because MRAP only has 3 exits. It has door for the driver, door for the front passenger, and you're in the back. So the only way to exit the vehicle for you is either through the back, like McLean and Parker did, or through the hatch above, or you can stay inside, of course.
I want to jump out the back, but I immediately want to use the vehicle as cover. Like, I don't want to just.
So you're just joining your comrades behind the vehicle. Yeah.
Can I say something like as I do it?
Sorry. Depends what, but please tell me.
Then we got to go, boys.
Okay. Very well. In that case, you're doing just that. McLean, Green just join you and Booker. Behind you, Parker is just going uphill. What is your course of action?
I wanted to sort of see what sort of cover or vantage point I can get, because I want to, and I will paint what I want to do. I don't know what. So I'm here. I want to go wee like that.
Actually, sorry, because the map is not very clear. You're not here. You're here.
Okay.
The small dots are your MRAPs, not the.
Okay.
Not the the titles.
Not the text.
Yeah, not the text. That's why.
Come on, man.
That's why you see there's this huge gap between MRAP 1 and team number 1. As I said before, it's 150 meters, and only now you see that might be true if you count only the dots.
I think that's the safest route to go, though.
Well, yeah. So I'm just trying to delete it, which doesn't seem to be working.
You just you need to select the small arrow on the left side on the toolbar.
Yeah.
Then you click on the.
Yeah, I have it selected now, but for some reason I don't know if it's. Yeah. Okay, there it goes. It finally did it. And then I see I got another one here.
I do agree with trying to flank Team 1, though. I think that's our only.
That's what I would like to do. So here, let me. So now, if we're doing it that way, it would be something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you are also going uphill, and then you try to use as many rocks and bushes as cover,
Yeah.
and you
Dude,
you
I
make
still can't delete this fucking line.
Yeah, sometimes they're hard to select. There you go.
and then you make your way
Okay.
to the right while Parker goes to the left. Very well. And Parker, you are just your previous declaration still stands, I presume. So you're just, running through the hill, and trying to approach MRAP number 2, but from as safe a position as possible, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
as fast as possible.
Okay. Booker, when he sees you running, he yells behind both of you, McLean and Parker, "Where the fuck are you going? Stay behind the vehicle. You're safe here." And but he's not doing anything else. Oh, by the way, the interpreter will also run outside, leaving only Bryant in the MRAP. And right, and the fighters, they're just they are continuing to do what they're doing. The other team, the other team's M2 is still operational. They are still firing it. You hear Sergeant Harding's harsh voice directing fire, but it's clear that the largest insurgent group on the road, even though they've probably too closest, is still making life hard for them. Now, what was? Oh yeah, I just need to see weapon jams. How does this exact? I think you just need to spend a turn unjamming your weapon.
Yeah.
Actually,
Right.
That's
And you probably have to roll heavy weapons or something to do it.
yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah, probably, almost certainly. Let's see, I think. Oops. Yeah, so he just spends a turn unjamming the gun, and that's that. So, we shall speed this up a bit, unless Agent Green has something specific in mind. Then please tell me.
I wanted to cover McLean.
Mm-hmm.
Just provide some covering fire.
Okay, so you're just popping out and take pot shots at the fighters.
Team one.
At the
Yeah.
fighters in the hills. Okay, but do you actually want to just to hit anyone, or just firing? Just to keep.
I do want to I put some more effort into aiming this time.
Okay, so you try to aim. Okay, so in that case, this is how it works. You spend a single turn aiming, and then you can fire. No problem. So while Parker and McLean, you guys are just running through the Afghan hills. Sometimes bullets fly near or far your positions, hitting rocks and sand, just making those those small sand clouds when they strike the ground near you. But it's clear that the fighters, they target you rather out of habit than actually trying to hit you. They want to put pressure on you and not probably hit you.
They want to terrorize me.
Terrorize you, yes. But it's clear that they concentrate on the on your men on the road. So what this means is that fortunately you're mostly left alone. But Green, you are popping out of the cover. You're taking aim at one of the team on the ridge, and then you try to fire a weapon. So how this works is that you are beyond your weapons range, so it's minus 20%. you aim with your M4, and this gives you plus 20% bonus. And so you are able. Just so you know, after this shot, you will be exposed. You won't be able to hide behind the wall, behind the vehicle.
Well, they'll know I'm here.
Well, I mean, you don't know that. Because
Yeah.
remember, they probably did so. They are on elevated position, so while they don't see you all clearly, they probably know that some of you exited the vehicle, and two of you ran up the hill. So and if you try to aim your weapon from the position that you are now, you need to essentially get out of cover and aim your weapon. So that makes you potentially exposed. I just want you to understand this if you want to do this. Or you can
Agent
just
McLean, I think, needs it at this point because he's already halfway there.
Okay. So in that case, go for it. You have your basic.
How many rounds is this?
How many do you want to shoot?
A short burst is 3.
Yeah, short burst.
3, I guess.
Long burst is 5, but it doesn't really matter because you can only hit one target anyway. The fighters are experienced in a way that they are not, bunched up together. So yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Vitality 10%.
I want it.
And you roll your basic firearms skill.
Sigmar's Fury. Yeah!
Holy shit.
Take that.
Okay.
Fucking cultist.
Things.
So what you do now, you roll d12 once, and then you double the damage, but you double the roll damage. You don't roll d12 twice.
Oh man, and he's so with that roll, is it also lethality?
Yes,
Or is that a
but
second
the
roll?
fighters
Yeah.
are behind light cover, so lethality doesn't work
Okay.
like that, but it will almost certainly kill him. Just roll d12 and let's see how much you rolled. Okay, so it's 12 damage total. I'll quickly see
Ouch.
one thing.
I'm trying to remember how many hit points I had. What would that do to me?
Yeah.
Oh, that would have killed me. All right.
Actually, it's
Sweet.
you've killed him because you rolled 12, and lethality works different in when you fire at someone behind the cover. You add.
Head popped up 15 feet in the air, man.
You add the 2 dice that you've rolled from the 100. So you rolled essentially 10 and a 1, so it's like 11.
Guy just does like a Wilhelm scream behind the rock.
So what Agent Green did was simply he popped out, you took aim, and you blew the remaining fighter from. Actually, no, sorry, he wasn't the remaining fighter.
From Allah's land.
They are.
I think there were 2 guys there at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think there were 2, but now there is only 1 because you simply shot one of the men in the head, and he went down.
The MRAP gunner
very
vaporized
fast.
one guy, but I don't know. I don't remember what team that was.
Team 1.
It was Team 1. Yeah, it was Team 1.
Yeah. Okay, so team 1 is gone now.
No, there's still one guy.
Oh, there were 3 guys. Okay.
Yeah. You presume that there were 3 guys, but you are almost certain that there were 3 guys. Yeah, the cover system here is pretty cool, but it's also you also need to remember that cover is like there are various forms of cover essentially. There's
Well, concealment versus cover.
Yeah, I mean exposed target is like when you are just standing in the open. Fragile targets fragile targets. If you have this rule, you drop to 0 HP instantly if you suffer any damage. Armored is something completely different, because armor 5 means that you reduce damage by 5. The combat here is easy. It's just you need to remember all of those things, and that's quite that's quite tricky. Yeah, and now actually there's if you look in the agent's handbook on page 59, there's the table, combat protection summary, and behind cover means that normal damage, you roll HP damage, subtract the cover's armor. But you've rolled lethality damage, so you add up the lethality dice to determine HP damage. Subtract the cover's armor value from the damage. So for example, you rolled 10 and 1, essentially, which is 11. Let's say that his cover probably is something like, I don't know, probably 5, maybe 4. He's behind the rock. Yeah, so let's say that's 5. So he takes 6 damage, but you've also rolled double damage because you had this insane roll of 1. So you just killed him. You just killed him.
I'm like, no way.
Stone dead.
I can't believe I just did it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, if the lethality test fails, add the 2 dice together as if they were individual d10s. 0 is 10, and apply that as HP damage. So yeah, it's. I mean, we are still learning this, so
Yeah.
you know, this will take quite a while. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. After that, we have Agent McLean. And after that, we'll now skip. We'll now take a. We'll now skip to the second part of the combat, because what happens?
Okay.
McLean and Parker, you are, running as fast as possible. Parker, you are trying to reach MRAP number 2, while of course also making sure, because I assume that you guys are running, making sure that you won't get hit by a stray bullet.
Trying not to get shot.
Suicide run, whatever happens will happen.
Yeah.
So you're running towards MRAP 2, while you, McLean, you are trying to flank team number 1, or what's left of team number 1.
Yeah. I'm assuming team number 1 is still there until I know they're not there.
I mean, you don't know. Of course, you didn't saw what Rat managed to do.
Right.
Oh, he saw it? Okay, cool.
No, he didn't saw it. He didn't saw it.
I didn't see it.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. Because unless he would make a free alertness test with a very huge minus modifier, then he wouldn't saw it. Wrath, you've hit yourself after firing that very lucky, very well placed shot. But then a few things happened. The RPG teams on the ridges finally prepared their weapons, and all of you hear this, and you think you hear one of your men. You're not sure if it's someone from your MRAP or from MRAP number 2. They just yell, "Incoming!" And then you hear this horrible crump, this sound of actually sorry, I need to roll this if they actually do this. Oh yeah. Yep.
That's a pretty good roll.
How many RPGs are there? Oh, yeah, that's right, one more. Oh, one more. Oh yeah. One more. That's right. Yeah, you hear the crump. The first hit damages the second MRAP, not your, but the one in which Sergeant Harding and his men were traveling. Now I need to roll 30% for the gunner in the cupola. The gunner is obliterated, simply put. The cupola ceases to exist.
Oof.
And MRAP 2? Or MRAP 1?
It was MRAP 2. They didn't fire it at your MRAP. They fired all of the rockets at the second MRAP. Essentially, from the ridge flew 2 rockets, and from the road a single one. And the second one hits the MRAP from the front, but it's not as bad. And what it did was that the missile struck. The rocket struck. Sorry. The soldiers outside, fortunately, during the fight, they've moved slightly away from the vehicle, so they were maybe only peppered. Maybe they only got peppered with a few pieces of shrapnel and debris. But both you, I mean all of you, even you, Green, when you are standing behind your vehicle, you see that the second vehicle is disabled. It's not destroyed, but it's smoking, and it's clear that it's no longer operational. The cupola is a mess of twisted, burning metal. Parker, you are almost approaching, completely exhausted by this.
You never made me roll an exhaustion roll.
Yeah, I mean we roll, but for dramatic purposes, I'm just saying that you're exhausted. Even if you pass, you will be tired. You see what happened, and you, McLean, when you are, let's say, somewhere over here, you see that the fighters on the hills, they are simply retreating. You see that you see a black turban, belonging to one of the men. Just he got up, and he's essentially falling back somewhere, like probably in that direction.
Yeah.
Green, after the rockets hit, of course, you also prepared yourself for the inevitable blast aimed at your vehicle, but no such thing happened, fortunately. The fighters clearly aimed, they want to maximize the damage to one of the MRAPs, only to one of the MRAPs. And even though the American soldiers fired, few shots, both towards the ridge and towards the large team on the road, which is also falling back, in a few seconds it's all over. There's only smoke remaining. You hear moans of wounded men and dying men, and wind. Just howling all around you, like a voice of some angry god.
I think I would start making my way to the other soldiers to see who's wounded. Yeah,
I'm making my way towards MRAP 2 and getting my my medical kit ready.
Sure. Now let's just quickly check the exhaustion rules. I don't exactly.
Yeah.
Sean, you also need to roll for this.
Okay.
Page 47, thank you.
Is it just a con roll, essentially?
Let me see. An agent who was... oh, okay. No, you won't be exhausted. Exhaust after that. I just read this entry, and you are tired, let's just say, for now. And if you try to do something like this a second or maybe third time, then you would be exhausted, but not after this. No, because it specifically points that you would have to be, that you would have to do something very, very, very tiring or something like that for the rules to kick in, I don't think that that this trek through the hills should constitute for that. So yeah.
Do I lose sanity or anything?
Let me quickly see. No, not yet.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. No, actually, sorry. You shot the man. You shot the man to death. Of course. Of course,
Yeah.
you lose sanity. My bad. My bad. Thank you, Brian.
I was far away. He doesn't.
No, I mean
It's just like pressing a button.
he knew what he did. That's the thing.
I didn't do it. The gun did it.
Yeah.
Yes. Guns don't kill people. I do.
That was a thin blue line.
He fell on some bullets.
Yes, he repeatedly fell on some bullets.
Inflicting violence. Okay, roll me a sand check.
Modifier?
By plus 20%.
Plus 20.
You were defending yourself after all. So.
Ooh, you still failed.
Yeah.
Oh, you have 50 sanity? What the fuck?
Is that not right?
No, it's just more than I have. I'm sure it's right.
So how sanity works in this game is that if you would pass this, you wouldn't lose any sanity. You only lose sanity when you pass, usually when it comes to supernatural stuff. Or something very hideous, like, I don't know, killing an innocent child in cold blood, stuff like that, the edgy stuff. But since you failed, you lose 1d4. If you would fumble, you would lose 4. If you fumble your sanity check, or your willpower check, or anything that, makes you lose your stats, you always lose the maximum amount. You lose
That
4.
sucks.
And now I need to check one thing, because I don't think that you gain temporary insanity. I think you only get it when you lose 5 or more.
Right.
5 or
Call
more.
of Cthulhu, it's 5, or if you're like below 20%.
Yeah.
Of your
So
original or whatever.
So you are you don't drop
Shaken.
your rifle, but you lean yourself on the MRAP and you think that you might be sick. You even do this, this heaving like motions, but you hold it back. You don't vomit, but you are shaking. You are shaken because you know that if you would go up the hill, you would find a man, a human being, who has a neat hole in his skull.
Super interesting hole.
Yeah, hole that you put it there. Right. So now, what happened is this. Parker, you approach MRAP number 2. You see that 2 soldiers are laying on the ground. One is clearly dead. He's just riddled with bullets, probably from the LMG on the hill. The other is still alive, but he's not in a very good shape. Harding he gathers his men, orders them to set up a perimeter to gather wounded. 2 of them try to, they help the driver exit the vehicle. The gunner is, like I said before, you see a horrible ruin. I would also like for you to roll sanity, please, because you see dead bodies and
Modifier.
plus 20%. You only lose 1.
Ah!
Because
All right.
Oh, your sanity sucks.
All right, there we go. Like, I initially ran over here, like, when you said they had RPGs. I'm like, I've seen a lot of war movies. They always take out the vehicle in the front. It
Yep.
kind of halts the whole thing.
You also see, as you approach the MRAP number 2, that there are several bodies laying, like 100+ meters here, clad in black, dark clothing, and with their weapons laying right next to them on the ground. McLean, as you approach the road here, it's clear. It's clear to you that the fight is over. You know that there's no point even going up this hill over here because the fighters they have a huge, start on you, head start on you, and they probably know those hills very well. So it will be potentially extremely dangerous if you try to follow them. You don't know how many are still alive.
I'm gonna move to help the wounded guy that's in bad shape.
All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm aware that one of the MRAPs got hit.
Yes, you've heard that. You've heard that.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna keep my eye on the ridgeline, but I'm gonna head over towards that way.
Yeah. Green, I presume that you also try to regroup at the with the rest of the U.S. forces near MRAP 2, right?
Yeah, and I'm kind of in my own head.
All right. You see that Brandt does not exit the vehicle, but Booker, of course, runs very quickly to MRAP 2 to his comrades, and he and Parker try to help as many as possible. And the interpreter, the interpreter Yassim Rahimi is just following sheepishly behind all of you, just looking around nervously, scanning the surroundings, and expecting that at any moment more rocket-propelled grenades will fly from the hills towards your positions, but no such thing happens. Right, I would also like for McLean and Green, you don't have to roll anymore, but McLean, when you approach MRAP number 2, you see what's left of the cupola, and you see the the wounded and the dead. So I would also like for you to roll me sanity with plus 20%. You've passed. You don't suffer any symptoms. So the mood is somber. One of the MRAPs is completely fucked. The Harding is looking at all of you. He says, "One of my men is dead. The other is heavily wounded. MRAP number 2 is completely fucked. The FOB will need to come out with the other MRAPs to tow the wreck home. And I mean, we'll need to wreck it completely right now anyway, because we'll remove all communications and sensitive electronics and destroy the interior with thermite charges just in case."
Settle it. Do I need to make a first aid roll for this guy?
No, you don't. You actually don't. You have enough time, and you have a combat medic with you, so you stabilize him, and
I was gonna say, because I've got like a 50 in first aid.
Yeah, so and you save his life without much fuss, even though like operating in an environment like this, sand and wind and this constant fear of danger and of more bullets flying towards you doesn't help, but you managed to do just fine. Anyway.
Hey,
buddy.
Yeah?
No, I was just like congratulating him.
You were saying something, Michael.
McLean, you and somebody else go check those bodies up the road a bit. If there's anyone alive in that group, we can get information.
Yep. On it. So.
Can I walk out to the guy that I shot? I mean, it's not going to give me more like sanity, right? At this point.
Well, you don't know. You don't know that.
I'll walk out there. Yeah,
Alright.
I want to see him.
Okay. McLean, you go to towards the bodies of the
Team
fighters left on the
three.
road.
Yeah.
Harding gave you 2 of his men, to accompany you, just in case. He also says, as you are leaving, that well, we have problems. I mean, our radios, most of them don't work, and at least 2 got damaged in the during the fight. We've reported in for the patrol not long ago, but it will be hours before a new patrol comes looking. He looks around. He speaks to you, Parker, because McLean, left for the bodies, and Green left for the hill to
Yeah, what's up?
to check the guy that he killed. As long as I see, the way I see it, we have 2 options. We can either complete our mission and go forward to the village that we are trying to find. It is like 5, maybe 10 kilometers to the east, or we can go back to the FOB, which is 30 kilometers to the west.
Is there a way to evac the wounded?
Well, we have the other MRAP is still operational. We can send back home. I don't think they will attack it. Not likely. Nothing like that happened here in a long time. I am surprised that they've hit us anyway.
And it's not like Captain would let us all stay out here for too long. He'd probably send a second one out.
He will almost certainly. But the thing is that the question is what we are going to do. I mean, we'll send.
We're gonna finish the damn mission.
So you want to reach the village?
The job ain't done until it's done.
Very well.
Over to so.
Very well.
Now you already lost a guy here. I'm not gonna turn tail and run off this shit.
Actually, he does too. The one on the road and the guy in the cupola.
Yeah, but I point to the dead guy right next to me. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I emphasize the point. Like, you already lost a guy here.
yeah.
I'm not turning my tail and run back to Mama.
Okay. Very well. Well, I mean, Parker, you know what Delta Green would say: finish the mission before things get any worse. So that's how they roll. In that case, Harding orders.
I'll help with the scuttling of the damaged MRAP.
Okay.
Since I've got heavy machinery and demolitions.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to roll, but your expertise certainly helps. You guys place the thermite charges in the inside of the vehicle. You scuttle it, and then you place the wounded soldier into your map. You take what remained of the cupola gunner, which is horrible to look at, and the other dead soldier inside as well. And Harding gives what's the word what's the name of the kid? He orders Brand and the cupola gunner to go back to base and to, of course, inform Captain about what happened here. The rest of the men, including the interpreter, are to and of course Booker, the medic, are to be left. They need to stay behind, and they will accompany you to the village. Now, McLean, you approach the dead fighters on the road. You see that 2 are certainly dead. And they are all, like I said before, they are all dressed in mostly black and dark grey clothes. It's hard for you to even determine their age, because they are all they are all very heavily burdened. They're all like dirty and filthy. It's obviously that in this in this climate it's rather hard to take care of your personal hygiene. So that's nothing unusual. You see that one of them you think is still alive. He's dying from a horrible abdominal wound, but he is still alive, and he looks at you with not with wild eyes, but with almost pleading in them. And he mouths something quietly. You know, one of the soldiers says, "We should put the bastard out of his misery for what he did to what he did to our men." And you see that he is, you know, aiming. He's putting up his M4, aiming at the man. What are you doing?
I try to grab, shove the end of his rifle so it's not pointing at the guy, and I say, "We need to have the interpreter talk to this guy real quick."
You know, the soldier looks at you very angrily, and he says, "It's all because of you. You've made us leave the FOB, and now our friends are dead." You see that, and by the way, you see that all of the soldiers, they are like that. I mean, only this one told you this openly, but Parker, even when you were, you know, dressing the wounds with Booker, you could almost feel the resentment from the man towards you.
I mean, they'll get over it at some point.
But almost certainly, just so you know, the soldiers are pissed.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm sorry for asking you to do your job.
You know, he just clenches his teeth. The other one says, "Well, spook man, then maybe you should do yours. I don't know, interrogate him or something."
Exactly. Get the fucking interpreter.
He you know, he says like, "Yes, sir," and you know, he goes back to fetch Yassim, who eventually, of course, arrives very not very quickly. It's clear that he doesn't want to be here, and you see that his face is ashen. He is completely terrified. He looks at you. Yes. Oh, sweet God. You know, when he saw the dying man. By the way, the soldier, of course, also brought Booker with him to see if he can help him. Booker starts working on the man, but you know, he looks at you, McLean, and he just, you know, very slightly shakes his head. It's clear that this man won't make it. Not after taking, you know, a round or two in the abdomen.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? Asks Yassim.
Say, who are you guys? Who are these guys?
Yassim begins to interpret what the man is saying. You know, he needs to get closer to him. From here, McLean, you can smell the blood, and you can smell, you know, the intestines just, you know, essentially feces, you know, mingling with everything. It is a horrible smell. Yassim almost gags as he leans towards the man to hear of what he has to say, and you know, he translates this, looking at you. What this man is saying, in essence, is that he warns you away from Ghati. He says that that's why his people attacked you. He says that they are not Taliban. They are men from villages in the region who know that Ghati is cursed. And it's a curse like poison. It spreads. It will spread to you if you go there. He also, as he is, you know, expiring, he also admits woefully that they spend their entire local force on the ambush. There won't be more insurgents coming unless the nearest Taliban heard of the trouble and come to investigate, which is a possibility. And finally, just before he dies, he urges you to shun Ghati. If your foolish soldier, you know, the agent, went there, let him suffer whatever awful things those pagans do to strangers. That's what he said before he died. Sean?
Yeah. Sorry, just writing.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. I was like, okay, well, we know we're on the right track, fellas.
You know, when he died, one of the soldiers says, "Wow, this guy was completely kooky."
Yeah, well.
Yep.
Evil spirits, stuff like that. Who the fuck believes this shit?
Well, that's what we're here to find out. Let's go.
Yeah. As you return, the first MRAP already left. It's driving back to base. Green, you reached the ridge, and it took you a while, but you eventually found the you found your body and you found the second body. And sadly, you will need to roll one more time because not only did you saw from up close a young man of like it's hard for you to tell how old he was. Indescribable. That's the word. Age. Unknown age, right? But you think that he probably wasn't older than 30. He has a very neat entry hole in front of his skull and a huge exit hole at the back. And the interior of his skull is splattered all over Afghan ground. But that's nothing compared to the guy who's like 4 meters to his left, the one who got shot by the MRAP gunner. He only has his lower chest and everything below it intact. His arms, his head, his neck are gone. 50 caliber bullets just obliterated him. You never saw anything like that. So Brian, I would like for you to roll me one more time Santi, this time with only a plus 10% modifier, because you knew what you were going to see. You've already realized that you've killed a man, but the funny thing is, if you only saw your kill, you wouldn't roll at all. But the fact that you saw the dead body of the second guy is just too much for you.
I'm just trying to roleplay his.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a killer, you know what I mean? So he would not be taking it.
Yeah, that's why you take this very hard. Oh, by the way,
You're not gonna take a trophy picture?
so you just roll 1d4 one more time.
Death selfie.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's for my collection.
are those a thing?
Funeral selfies are sadly a thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
People are morbid and dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you only lose 2. Okay.
I want to search the guy I killed. I'm just not even going to look at the other guy. I want to search him, and then I want to drape his arms over his chest kind of respectfully, because I know whoever it is going to be back for him.
Okay, yeah, by the way, the guys on the road, they also have their weapons laying right next to them. So what you found, Agent Green, is that this man, and you know, you've took a glance to his comrade, you know, the one without the head and the arms. They were armed with AK-47s. They have like a few spare magazines for them, but not much. You also see the characteristic shapes of hand grenades tied to their belts, and they have RPG-7s with a single spare rocket on their backs, in like a small backpack specifically made for the carrying of 3 additional rockets for the weapon. So what do you want to do anything? Oh, by the way, they don't have anything else on their bodies, like except for, you know, water canteens, some dried nuts and dried meat in small pouches, stuff like that. Nothing of interest, no photos, no documents, nothing.
Okay, yeah, I don't want any of his gear or anything, but I'm feeling pretty bad about having to do what I did, so I'm gonna at least position the body like respectfully.
Okay.
You know how you put people in coffins with the arms over the chest, like
Yeah, sure.
make sure the eyes are closed and stuff.
Not from first-hand experience, but yes.
Very well. You do that out of respect, of course. I don't know if your character is religious.
Not
No.
particularly, but he is very new agey. So.
Okay. So, by the way, the 3 fighters on the road, now 3 dead fighters, all of them also had AKs with like, well, now maybe one, maybe two additional magazines each, and each of them had 3 grenades. If
I think we
The-
should take the grenades.
the U.S. soldiers don't take any of their weapons, just so you know.
Hey, Agent Parker, do you want some of these grenades?
Do you even have to ask?
We got some here for you.
Every day is 4th of July for me.
Very well. So, after that, you regroup with Harding and the rest of his men. Now, what this means is that let me check and note this, please, Sean. You have Specialist Booker Review, Medic. You have Sergeant Harding. You have Yasim. And there are 2 remaining. No, there is a single remaining soldier actually with you, because one of them returned with the body and his wounded comrade, and yeah. So that means that there is a single remaining soldier. Wait, am I counting this right? No, there were 4. So one got hit, one got wounded, one got killed, one returned with them. Yes, there is a single remaining soldier with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that. Harding looks at all of you, especially he looks at you guys, because you know this is your mission, and he once again tries to clarify that you want to continue it, that you want to do this.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's obvious. We're 10 clicks from our objective.
5 to 10, he says.
Yeah.
We can make an average about 3 kilometers per hour on the road. Or we can go to the hills to reduce the chance of another encounter, but that will at least double our travel time, and we don't have, the water is important, right?
Yeah. No, I'm with staying on the road to get there quicker. Oh.
Very well. After that, you move out. Sundown is at 1900. Is that how you say it? I mean 7 p.m.
Yeah.
1900 hours.
Yeah. The drive from the FOB to Vergita Mountain was expected to take approximately 4 hours. The ambush struck 3 hours in. Interviewing the captive and trying to save his life took you less than an hour, just say. And of course, during that time, Booker and Parker tried to save his life, but unfortunately, his wounds were too great. So yeah. Now, all of you, I presume, are carrying armor, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe we all had.
Yeah, body armor, helmets.
Yeah, I think I forgot to write it down on my character sheet.
Okay,
but,
I would like for each of you to roll survival basic.
No modifier.
No.
Oh, hey, at 10%. I just had a straight failure.
Okay. So what this means? Exhaustion will set in after a quarter of your conditioned hours. For you, McLean, and you, Green, and quarter conditioned hours minus 2 for you, Parker, because you've fumbled, sadly. You move
I guess on the rest of the roadway, I'm gonna take a nap.
Well, sadly, remember
You're
you
walking.
go on foot. You go on foot. Yeah, you go on foot. That's the problem.
One of you guys want to carry me?
No.
Mm,
So did you take all 9 of those grenades, Parker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you move out towards the Varjita mountain.
I'm gonna ask Parker for a cigarette as we walk.
Yeah, you can have one. That's fine.
You still have your GPS with you. I mean your group, and you've also managed to retain 2 working radios for now, of course. As you move closer towards your objective, both your GPS and even your compasses sporadically gave you trouble. The compass needle sometimes claims that east is on the wrong side of the morning sun. Electronics warble and surge and spark. Now I need to roll 1d3. So 1d6. So after 3 hours, you find a path up Varjita mountain. Actually, sorry, after an hour and a half, because you've used the drone over Varjita last time, if I recall correctly, so it only takes you an hour and a half. You okay. Eventually, you need to leave the road, and you need to go into the hills, following goat trails to avoid another ambush. Which, by the way, of course, all the while when you are, walking towards the mountain, you've scanned your surroundings constantly, expecting another attack, even though the dying fighter told you that they spent all of their men on this one, on this single strike. Now, who has the highest navigate skill?
Possibly
I thought
me.
we were equal, but I could be wrong. But let me.
So how much
find
do
my
you have?
navigation.
Because
40.
I'm finding it. One sec.
Dun.
I've got a 50.
Booker has 40, so I guess that you roll, Parker.
Okay.
Why can't I find navigate?
It's towards the bottom.
Oh, but fortunately you get plus 20% because you have another agent with 40 percent navigation. He will double check you. So you... Okay, that's not the end of the world.
It's the same here.
Yeah, I have a 50 navigate too.
Okay. What happens is that
It's
want
like
me to roll?
NASCAR. You just keep going left, right?
yeah.
Right. Can I roll navigate?
Wait. After walking for an hour and a half, you realize that you're not getting closer to the direction, and the exhaustion starts to kick in. You also begin to feel more and more desperate. You have water and supplies for now, but this is the wild east of Afghanistan. So, and you feel like you're not getting any closer to Ghati. So now we need to check the exhaustion rules.
This be a good time to take a piss break.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. I'll
All right,
just.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Right back. If I can get my to work.
Got my venison is all prepped to cook tonight.
Am I alone?
No, I'm here, bud.
I was like, all I hear is the wind. Somebody trying to call me?
I
Jesus.
stepped away to. I was soaking. Friend of mine had a good hunt last year and was passing off some venison that he didn't have room for. So had 2 loins that were soaking in buttermilk to pull some of the gaminess off, rinsed off and prepping for cooking for dinner.
Nice. I'll have to remember that trick, soaking it in buttermilk.
For about 3 to 4 hours, pulls a lot of gamey flavor off.
Oh, interesting.
Also helps if you use a strong marinade. I do both.
Yeah.
So they'll marinate for the next 2 hours on soy sauce, Worcestershire, Dijon mustard, and peppercorns.
That sounds good. Yeah, this stew this guy made yesterday was pretty good. Some kind of he called it a Flemish stew. I forget what the name is, what name of it was, but
Nerd.
hurdy-gurd. Yeah, man, I don't know what that beeping is. I'm hoping it is Discord, but it's just like
It's a
Jesus
bomb.
Christ. Yeah, there, boop. Maybe it's my what was that? Logan's Run. Oh, dude, that was the funniest thing yesterday. So this guy, who's like has like one of every army for Lord of the Rings, has been playing since 2000 and whatnot, sort of is the old man of the group. He's going like, you young guys, you know, and I was like, wait a minute, how old are you? He's like, oh, I'm 58. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I hate to break it to you, but I'm 54. I was like, oh. Because he's like, he's got completely white hair, and then he's got some kind of neurological degeneration, so like his hands don't work so great, and
Like Parkinson's.
yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know all the symptoms of Parkinson's, but I
That's
mean,
sad.
like, yeah, no, it's horrible, and you know, he's a former Navy guy, and you know, makes you wonder if he got encountered something while he was
Very likely.
on ship. Yeah.
Like I've got buddies of mine that got out of the Air Force. They're just like, yeah, I've got really fucked up lungs because of the kind of shit that you breathe in while you're flying a helicopter.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, my well, I'm not totally sure with my cousin anymore because he was in the Marines a long ass time ago. We're talking in the 70s, but he yeah, well, I mean, it's that's what you get for being part of my grandfather was one of 10 kids. So, and then you know, my uncle essentially started having kids at 18, so I have cousins I have cousins that are in their 70s. You know. Anyway, so yeah, so this guy I'm not totally certain how much of but I think most of his injuries were after the service because he was definitely in one car wreck that probably should have killed him. Uh, but
Why do you sound disappointed?
I'm not disappointed. But he is an interesting guy. uh,
One of my cousins, he didn't work for the military, but he did a lot of jobs for the military. Not as a contractor either. He was a long haul trucker for a bit.
okay.
It would transport chemicals for production. He didn't know what he was transporting for a long time. He just knew, like, hey, this one pays a lot. I'm going to take this job.
Yeah.
Comes to find out, like a year after he stopped doing that he was transporting, like, sodium nitrate and really, really highly explosive chemical.
Cool.
And that's why they always sent him with, like, a 4 Humvee escort.
Yeah. Jesus. Like I was transporting Agent Orange.
I don't even, we can't produce that anymore, can we? I don't think we
No,
can.
it's illegal.
Like, it's wholly
'cause
illegal.
yeah, it fucks people up bad. Yeah, I actually had well, a couple of my second cousins were in Vietnam.
Sean, you're what, like 90?
No, I told you I'm 54.
Sure.
And
We all tell lies.
well, I mean, you know, they're my second cousins, so some of them are more like my mom's age, you know. So well, I mean, the guy who flew the Puff the
106.
Magic Dragon, he's dead. Yeah, no.
Oh,
Very-
my old card store boss got rescued by Puff.
Mhm.
Back when I worked at a baseball card shop back in, like, early college. My boss was a retired Army sniper, and on multiple
Oh, wow.
occasions was saved by Puff.
Wow.
You get into a hairy situation, it's like, all right, call him in.
Mm.
I'm here.
Hey,
Everyone's here.
I don't know where Brian is.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Alright.
So that will be just
So we feel like we are not getting closer.
No.
And then the mushrooms kick in.
It's not my fault. The map was upside down.
So now you're getting exhausted. How this works? You fail your survival roll, sadly. So, each
Which
of
reminds me,
you,
did I take
roll-
my survival roll?
you've managed to do this.
Well, no. If you fail it, you take it.
Yeah.
No,
If you-
I forgot to take it.
No, you took it. Survival 10%.
Yeah, and I failed the test.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, that failed.
So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I didn't put the check mark next to it.
My bad.
No, you're
Yes,
cool.
and of course remember about check marks, please. That's important. Including firing weapons if you fail to hit anyone, so then also add a check to your firearms. Alertness, stuff like that. This is very important. So, how exhaustion works is that each of you please roll 1d6.
Okey-doke.
Okay. Look. And finally we have green. Mason and Rat, you lose 4 willpower points. Luke, you lose 3 willpower points. And right now there are no other negative modifiers. But they may be, of course, in the future. If you
Boy, that hurt.
if you have stimulants, then they might help. Stimulants including, for example, chain smoking.
Okay.
If
I don't.
you chain smoke, Parker?
No, I don't, but I've got cigarettes and moon pies. I can just start going full gluttony.
Okay.
I can turn this into a hedonism bot situation.
What about you, McLean? You were saying something and I interrupted you. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that because Rut and Green and Parker smoke all the time. I was like, do they have chain smoking?
Actually, chain smoking would only work in the case of Parker. In the case of Rat, he could just use drugs.
Weed is not a stimulant.
Although actually it states here that we are talking about harder illegal drugs. So I don't think that marijuana would particularly
Did you
work
sneak
here.
some meth in?
Yeah, meth
Nature,
would,
man.
meth,
Rut, you got
amphetamines,
some
cocaine.
psilocybin here with you?
Yeah.
It's natural. It comes from nature, bro.
I'm one with the nature, man. And stuff like that, yeah. No, but
Cyanide is actually a naturally occurring object.
I mean, things like
Sam
things
produces
like,
a lot of opium, so there's probably poppy somewhere around here.
oh yeah, actually, if you would find it in if you would find a field of poppy in Afghanistan, then that would certainly help.
This guy.
Yeah, but
New mission.
But from what I recall, making drugs out of poppy takes a bit of time. I'm not sure how much time, but I think a bit. So,
If I eat this, go ahead.
yeah, sorry, Brian, are you here by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. You sound like you're a bit far away, but I don't know, maybe you're just doing stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually across the room.
Oh, okay. Anyway, after an hour and a half, I would like for one more test of navigation. Once again, plus 20, plus 20%.
Okay.
All right.
Can I roll navigation this time?
Yeah.
No,
I reoriented the map. Oh, me?
only the one with highest navigation rolls.
We both have
I also
50.
have a 50.
Okay, so you can roll in that case, Sean, if you want to roll.
Yeah, I want to. I was like, you dumbass.
The plus 20 there, bud. I'm supporting you.
I know. Submit. Yeehaw.
Yes, you've passed. So, after you realize that your sense of direction is being screwy. The sun is right over there. It's morning. That should give you some idea of east. But it's hard to stay going the right direction. You don't know why. After another, after less than an hour now, from the hills or the road, the path up and beyond the mountain is a steep climb up huge rocks, among weeds and scrubby grass. It's not exactly pleasant. It's tiresome, but it doesn't exhaust you. At least not yet. But you shudder to think what would happen if you would, for example, need to carry someone and traverse this kind of terrain. Over the spur of the mountain, the path leads into a valley. A small village squats at the far end, 2 kilometers away, in the shadow of limestone cliffs. Ghati. You enter the valley. You, Sergeant Harding, Specialist Booker, the single soldier from the expedition, and Yassim, the interpreter. As you enter the valley, you notice changes in the plant life. The grasses and bushes are ugly and diseased looking. Does any of you have science biology?
Garden of Miracle.
No. I have meteorology.
I think, Rat, don't you have it, actually?
I thought he had chemistry.
Bran?
Yeah, I have a 20 in science.
But do you
And
have
what
science
type of science?
biology? Do you have science biology?
No. Botany.
So
Then yes,
well,
you have
botany
the
works.
better version. Got it.
So you can roll at 50%. Sorry,
Wow.
50%. How much science botany do you have?
It's 20.
It's 20, so you have plus 20% roll.
Growth of weed.
Plus 20.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Alright. Rat, as you are traveling through the valley, you recognize that the grasses and bushes are suffering from some subtle fungal ailment. Do you want to take samples?
Yeah.
As he's taking samples.
I'm not sure. I'm the one that could test the samples, but maybe somebody at the agency can.
Hey, what is that? Is that a problem?
With what?
Looks like there's some kind of fungal infection or something with the grass here.
St. Vitus's dance.
Out in the middle of the fucking desert?
I've never seen anything like it. Seems important.
Is it like a? Should we be, like back when we would clear out like homes that were vacated for a while? You get molds and shit. Is there spores that we should be worried about?
You don't really know that's green.
I'm sure the agency health plan will help us out.
Yeah,
By the way-
my agency health insurance is pretty great.
By the way, it's important to note one thing about Delta Green. Delta Green, while of course they expect you to handle all of the evidence after mission, especially any sort of important books, tomes, grimoires, artifacts, stuff like that. If you, for example, if you guys want to study things by yourselves, it is possible. So Green, you know that you can and you should give this sample to Delta Green, but there's nothing stopping you from taking it also to your house and study it if that's what you wish. Only the most dangerous and clearly illegal, even in terms of the agency, artifacts, books, samples, stuff like that, are of course a no-go, and you need to report them to the organization. But if you'd, for example, find a small treaty on the, on some cult or something like that, then after reporting your find, there's probably nothing stopping you from taking it back home and studying it, which you can do in between missions, which, for example, can further your unnatural skills or any other skill. Remember, but it's it's you who need to come out with the initiative if you want to do stuff like that.
Yeah, right now I just want to collect
Okay.
samples for somebody else to look at, but I might depending how things go,
Okay.
look at it myself.
So you collect a few samples from the grasses and bushes, and you continue to move forward. It's unsettlingly quiet in the valley, silent most of the time, but occasionally a wail that's either ecstatic or despairing comes crying from the direction of the village and slowly dwindles. I don't need to tell you, of course, that your comrades are incredibly on edge. Even Sergeant Harding, is constantly scanning surrounding area with his weapon almost at the ready. Yassim is practically terrified. I mean, he's practically paralyzed with fear. He shuffles behind you and just mumbles probably some kind of prayer to Allah.
Does the fungus seem to get more concentrated as we get closer to the
No.
village?
No, but
Okay.
you guess that it's everywhere here. By everywhere I mean on every single piece of almost every single piece of vegetation.
I know that mold, like you get some fungus in your houses, it can have an effect on the nervous system. So if this is something that like has never been studied by science before, who knows?
No one.
Wonder if our guy was breathing this in.
No one answers you from your from the soldiers and the interpreter. I don't know about your comrades from Delta Green.
Would my first aid kit have masks in it?
No. I mean,
then no.
Like masks which used
Like-
during
Paper masks. Like
yeah,
the
yeah, of course.
I
In
just
95s.
I get out a couple of those and pass them to me and Luke and Rut.
Okay. When the soldiers look what you're doing, Harding asks, "Why are you
Are
wearing?"
there enough for everybody?
Let's say that you probably have.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, just pass out to everybody.
There's probably spores or something in the air. We don't want anyone getting sick or having any odd effects.
Fungus here? Asks the soldier that you don't even know his name. I mean, you look at the map.
Yeah, man. I get it. I get it. But yeah, no. Rut here has Agent Green here has found some sources here. I whisper over to Green and was like, "It's okay. He'll probably die."
The soldier's name, of course, is Colby Shaw, which I've just wrote. So please, it's still better than Bobson Dagnut.
Dugnut. Or Dagnut, yes.
Dagnut, yeah. So
I
yes.
still think it should be Harry Paratestes, but
What's the? Oh yeah, Sergeant Cleet and Major Oris, right?
yeah.
Yeah, big man, huge. This, all of them, of course, when you said that, they put on the mask without any further comments. Harding, when you are getting close to the village, Harding orders everyone. I mean, orders. He knows that he can't exactly order you guys, but he also feels responsible for this group, and he is the de facto commanding NCO. So he proposes that before you enter the village, you just huddle down somewhere for like an hour, maybe, or two, and observe.
I mean, Harding, you're the most qualified commanding officer here, so we'll take your lead for now.
He nods his head and he then, says, "Very well, we'll settle here for an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Observe the village, see if there's any activity, and then move forward. Show. Move 30 meters to our left flank. Set up an overwatch. Let's spread out. Let's not make ourselves easy targets."
Everybody get a meal from a bag and take a rest.
He looks at you and says, "Well, I mean, is it safe to eat here? You've just told us that there are some kind of spores in the air. Do we really want to mix them with our MREs?"
Don't wave your food around.
Moon pies are protected from spores.
Yeah, here.
They have preservatives.
I'm gonna split up the last of my box and erase it from my inventory. But here, everybody.
Well, I mean, they accept your generous moon pie offering.
God, that makes it sound sexual. Please don't do that.
Yeah. Essentially, all of you establish a perimeter with appropriate spacing, appropriate spaces from one another. You're not like bunched up. It's not like you're exactly hiding, because there's really it's hard to hide anywhere here. I mean, there are rocks and there are those bushes, but this valley is almost open, mostly open. You observe the village. The village at the far end of the valley is ancient and decaying. You see wooden buildings with mud mortar slowly rot in the shadows of the cliffs. There are sickly goats wander in and out of rickety pens. You don't see any trouble awaiting you. At least not yet. After an hour and a half, you move out once again. As you are approaching the village, you smell an odor of mold and rot and lye. Letters are carved around every crumbling door frame. You don't, of course, understand this, but Yassim, with in thin, terrified voice, tells you that this is an old, debased form of Hindi. And let me just see how much Hindi does he actually have, or Urdu. Okay, he has, and he translates their exact meaning. You see that he took a quick but closer look at one of the inscriptions. He says that they describe an ancient priest who has lived under the ground forever and knows the ways of the stars and all the worlds and the future. And then once again you hear the long wail.
No aliens.
The wail is closer. Harding, gives the sign, like the combat sign, that way, approach. That he intends to find the source of this, because it's coming from the middle of the village. If you feel.
I ready my shotgun and rack around.
Yeah. You move through the village, your weapons ready, and you pursue the way to its source. You find a withered villager in the grip of ecstatic delirium. Supposedly, he looks like he's, to you, supposedly communing with unseen spirits. And then there are more villagers. They are coming from the buildings. They are coming from behind the structures. They welcome you openly and with smiles. They speak to you, and it's clear that they are probably using, even though you don't know the language yourself, you can feel that it's old, very old. Yassim quickly tells you that they speak an ancient dialect of Urdu, heavy with Hindi phrases.
Can you pick up any of it?
They believe that this is a friendly visit, he says. Grounds for the Shura, a tribal meeting. It's a tradition common in the region. One interesting thing is that you see no children. None at all.
Agent McLean, Agent Green, you guys feel free to cut in any time. I can't be doing all the work here.
You see that the villagers, they gesture at you to follow them towards the middle of the village.
I cock my weapon, make sure that I've got a bullet in the chamber.
Okay.
Harding?
Yeah. Harding, yes.
We need somebody to watch the back as we're gonna go, but y'all want to stay? I mean, do we want to go as a group, or do you want us to split up here?
I think you should go inside the temple with the interpreter and try to find as much as possible about your missing men. Me,
right.
Shaw, and Booker will cover our backs.
Good. All right.
And you see that Harding is, the villagers, you see that they are armed in a way. They, of course, don't carry any firearms. They are only carrying long-bladed knives at their hips, at their belts. They look more like utility tools than weapons or, anything ritual. Those people are incredibly poor, and Dereks, got you. These people are incredibly poor, and it's clear that life is not easy on them. They are emaciated, they are dirty, and they look sick, most of them. The villagers take you, and now I am going to upload. I'm going to remove the map here because we don't need it anymore, and I'm going to upload the new map. The first one that I've uploaded, and it was a
I didn't
mistake.
see it.
I hope so. I mean, it's not a big deal. There are no spoilers here, but here.
So we're going into the little temple.
Yes, you are moving to because you've approached from here.
Okay.
And you are moving towards the little temple with golden statue.
I want to tell Harding if he hears gunfire, he knows what to do.
He just nods very grimly when you are saying that. Essentially, when you approach the temple, like I said, it is a little building. You enter inside, and inside you see that worn with countless years, an ancient golden statue of a dragon with ruby eyes sits on a pedestal. Do you have history?
Probably just base.
And
Just history.
Yeah, 10.
Fortunately, there's Yasim. Of course, you look at the statue, and obviously it is authentic. It is something from this land, from this culture. Yasim looks at it, and he says something quietly. You once again think that this is some kind of probably wording prayer. He very quietly tells all of you that this statue is supposedly the forgotten god Zun.
Zoom.
Zun.
Zune. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. But you don't know anything.
Yasim, is that an Islamic god? Is there something else in here?
He says that Zun is not a deity from my faith, Agent Parker.
Okay, then why do you sound scared shitless about it?
I'm not, because I've never saw in Afghanistan anyone who would worship this deity. It is very old. It is practically forgotten.
I mean, there's people in America that like worship Odin and shit and think that's all fucking cool.
Maybe, but this I didn't even knew that there are still people left alive on this planet who would worship.
Gotcha. So
Such
it's
a being.
that old. Got it. Agent McLean, Agent Green, I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark. That's probably not smart if I do the Lord's Prayer in here.
I don't know. Do you think this belongs in a museum?
I think there's a lot that we've seen that belongs in a museum.
Basically, he Yasim tells you that Zun is an Afghan god from the pre-Islamic era. So he is very old.
Fucking old.
Yeah. Very, very, very old, like incredibly old, almost ancient. And then the village elder comes. It is an ancient woman. She enters the door behind you. Enters the door into the temple. She smiles at you and introduces herself. Of course, I'm going to assume that Yasim is translating constantly and just he's just telling you what she is telling him, so that I think it will be easier.
Yeah.
The woman is named Bada Bahan. That's this.
Okay.
Yasim tells you that the meaning in Urdu or Hindi means elder sister. It sounds honorific, but the woman says that she has no other name. And after a while, she offers you to go outside her house here. Hey, the woman's
Yeah.
houses, yeah.
Yeah.
Not inside, but outside, and she offers you some green tea outside, inside of the temple, and she says that she is ready to answer your most honorable guest's questions. She sits at the small porch, after, of course, bringing out the tea herself, and looks at you and, well, waits for your questions. Other people in the village, they are nearby, they are watching and smiling at you, but some of them already returned to their homes or their chores, duties, whatever. Harding and his men joined you, of course. They are nearby, ready for everything.
How far away is Harding and the soldiers?
You are a few meters from you.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, they see clearly that you're the ones who are going to ask questions, and they know that they're the ones who provide, security. So they let you do the talking, and they will do the shooting. Although, given the number of villagers, you're not sure if they would be of any help if they would all decide to rush you.
I pat my stomach and shake my head no thank you on the tea. I've had a bad stomach since I got here, but I did come prepared to party, and I'm gonna get out a doobie for each of us.
Look,
Yasim, when you said that, before he translates, he says that it would be incredibly rude to refuse this.
Well, I'm gonna take a hit of this first to get my head there, and then I'll have a sip.
I gotta
guess.
say, the conspiracy theory side of my character here, this conspiracy theory side of me is like, well, we're fucked either way, so I'll drink the tea.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting the doobie at, and plus I could always deny it and say that they offered it to me and I thought it was their custom or something.
Yeah. You drink the tea. The tea is disgusting. Essentially, it's this very herbal. It's too herbal. If that sounds.
Oh, fuck! It's got the goddamn fungus in it.
If that sounds logical, it's it's just too strong, too essential. It overwhelms your senses when you drink it. It's like if you would make a tea in your house from 5 bags and put them all into a small cup. Which, by the way, in Russian prisons, there's this thing called chai. It was, I think, invented back in communism days, because the people there, they didn't exactly have access to drugs or alcohol, so they had to do with what they had, and so they've invented chai, which was this uber strong tea, which had narcotic, which had drug properties. You essentially brewed a tea that strong that you got high on it.
Cool.
It was also incredibly, of course, unhealthy. Just if anyone is curious. But sorry, back to the game. So you smoke a doobie, Rat. You take a sip of the tea, Green. And what about McLean?
Yeah, when Rahimi says that it's rude not to take it. I'd pick it up and take a sip of it.
Like I said before, it's just disgusting.
I go, mm.
The elder, Badabahan, also of course offers you food, but given that the village smells like, the smells in the village are just abhorrent. Everything here stinks. People stink, buildings stink. You think that the ground itself is just foul. You don't even want to imagine what those people eat. By the way, you took a closer look at the goats I mentioned earlier, and they are just, they look diseased, heavily diseased. And once again, you can't help but notice the lack of any children. The woman just looks at you politely with this, calm smile. She flashes her black teeth, diseased to the core, and she takes a long sip from her from her cup. Of course, those people in Afghanistan don't drink from like our teacups; they drink from like small bowls. So
I take out a pack of cigarettes. I pop one out for myself. I offer her one.
She graciously takes a cigarette from the pack, and she hides it under her robes.
I light mine, and I side whisper to Yasim. Yasim, we're gonna get pretty straightforward with this, but I don't want to be stuck here. This is fucking weird. Yasim, can you ask her if she knows where Ellis is?
He nods his head. He asks her. She listens. She answers. The villagers recognize. She recognized Ellis from your description. Remember that you also have his photos.
Yeah, show him that.
She tells you that he came to Ghati a couple of days ago. He was dehydrated and sick and seemed lost, but said he came seeking wisdom. And so they took him up the hillside into the temple to recover. Remember that Ghati lies in the shadow of the Varjita mountain. The incredibly high mountain just stretches to the very heavens. When you look at it, you have this feeling of being small and insignificant. A speck of dust in the universe of infinite possibilities and perhaps infinite madness. Well, that's what she's telling you.
So not this temple in the village, but another temple.
She once again, Yasim translates your question, and she just nods, and she says something longer. Yasim looks at you nervously, and he says, she says that Ellis is still alive. He is with Baba Jan, and so are we, so are you. We all will live forever with Baba Jan.
Is it possible to talk to Ellis? It's been a while since we've seen him. He's one of our good friends.
She listens to Yasim's question. I mean, to your question, through the mouth of Yasim. Sorry. And she agrees, of course. She says that yes, naturally, you can go to the temple, and she will send guides with you, of course, because you are honored guests.
That's very welcome, thank you.
And to help with the difficult climb, because the temple supposedly is on the cliffs.
Alright.
You
Let's
took
go.
a sick and dying man up a bunch of cliffs?
She says, after you ask this, she says, of course, he wanted to find wisdom. He wanted to find answers which only Baba Jan could give him. Baba
That crazy son of a bitch.
Baba Jan, who has been there since the world was young, and he will be there to help us see the light of reality when all the gods wake up.
Fuck, I really hate that I'm wanting to ask this. You seem don't translate this yet. Hey, McLean, Green, how fucking deep do we want to get into this, or do we just want to get Ellis and get out?
We just want to get Ellis and get out and maybe set shit on fire.
All right. So in that case, in that case, I gotta admit I'm kind of curious, and I got some other questions for her, but it's really fucking weird here.
Yep.
I'm not sure Ellis made that climb.
I'm
Well,
not
sounds
sure he
like
made
they-
it either. It sounds like they carried him.
Yeah.
Remember that Ellis wrote in his notes the phrase, "Death awakens the sleeper." You know, you can ask her other questions if you want.
Oh yeah.
You have a feeling that this is a person who will probably be able to tell you as much about what's going on here as possible. And
Bada Bahan. You seem you can translate this again. And I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right, but fuck me, I'm from the fucking south. Bada Bahan, you said when the gods wake up. Why are they asleep?
he asked the question. She answers. She answers in a long, almost constant stream of words. And when Yassim translates them to you, essentially what they mean is that what you get from them is that the villagers say they revere a sleeping god who is also a servant of higher masters, and he lives in the temple on the cliff. He has no name, so they call him Babajan, revered old man. His masters are themselves but priests of forgotten gods greater still. When all the great priests fully awake, they can teach their lowly human followers the names and ways of the true gods of the universe.
Got it. I just take a long drag of my cigarette and
She,
look over to Rut and just roll my eyes.
she also says that Baba Bajan is light and darkness, earth and water, wind and fire, time and timelessness, life and death, the great dragon of truth. And she says that in an almost ecstatic way.
Boys, I'm at a loss. I mean, y'all got some questions?
Yassim actually asks her one. You don't, of course, you don't know what he's saying, but you hear the word Zun. You know, the name of the idol. And when he says that, she laughs. It is an ugly sound, by the way. It's a sound of old, dry, rasping throat, just convulsing in
contempt.
laughter. And she answers him. You see that his face is flushed red, despite all the exhaustion and grime covering it. He looks at you and he says, "That's that's strange. She told me that the statue there in the temple, it doesn't represent Zun. She says that Zun is a young god. Badabahan calls Zun, whose worship died 1,000 years ago. From what I understand, the idol there, it was made to look like Zun, but they have kept it as a sign of their own god priest, master of the earth and the air. And their god priest," and he points at the cliffs, "lives in the temple. That's where they took. Well, you know that already. That's where they took your friend." So,
Gotcha.
So what you've just learned essentially is that, I mean, of course, this is all speculation, and you may have all your own opinions, but to you it sounds like Zun, the god, which predates Islam in Afghanistan, which is long time ago, is only an aspect of this supposed god priest, a god who was created from the myth of another god.
Mm. Um. So I'm just trying to look up because I don't remember. I know something about death
Yeah,
awakens the sleeper or the dreamer.
the sleeper. You ask this?
Yeah, it's like what is yeah, what does that mean?
Yasim translates, and the woman gets agitated, not angry, but again, almost ecstatic, like someone who knows something very important and wishes to share it with others to help them, maybe to enlighten them. Essentially, she says, most of us are asleep, even when awake. Baba Bajan teaches that only the most important, sometimes frightening events wake us up and make us truly alive.
Mm.
Does any of you uh, have human or at 60% or more?
We got 50.
Oh, wow.
50. Okay. One rat. When she said that, you saw that Yasim squinted his eyes and he looks at her uh, like some person, like someone who knows that the person speaking to them is not probably telling the whole truth.
I kind of nudge Yasim with my elbow. Go on.
He looks at you and he says, she's not telling the whole story, but I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. What else is she hiding? But it's like she wants to say something more, but it's not.
Can I get a read on like her physical health if I use if I use forensics? I don't want to touch her.
You
I just
don't need
want to
you don't
get
need
an
to
idea.
roll. She lives a very hard life. She's probably sick in more than one way. She's
It says she's
thin.
immortal.
Mm, oh, that's yeah. Please roll.
What am I rolling?
You have medicine.
I have forensics. I have forensics and I have first aid.
Mm,
I have first aid at a 50 and forensics at a 40.
roll first aid with minus 20%.
Okay.
It was close.
Damn.
So close.
You're
So
not
close.
sure, but to your eyes, both her and the villagers, despite their physical condition, they are full of energy. They're just, you know, they are not
They're
shambling
moving.
around.
Yeah, they look emaciated and shit, but they're moving as if they're perfectly healthy.
Yes, yes. Like
Um,
something is just fueling them constantly.
hey boys, you ever seen that movie Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I they're alive, but man, they aren't all there. Physically, they are not all there.
Mm.
Uh,
Um.
Yasim once again asks her something. She answers. He looks at all of you with well. I mean, it's clear that he's still terrified, but his role as an interpreter helps slightly with his mental state. He says that I asked her what will happen if we go into the temple, and she said that perhaps we will share the glory and wisdom of Baba Jan, or perhaps we will find only the healing of silent contemplation.
Okay.
Can we talk to Baba John?
He asked her that. To your surprise, she just nods her head with a wide warm smile, says something, and he says, Yasim says, she hopes that we will, because he will be able to enlighten us and see the true light of reality. If you have psychotherapy, any of you can roll it.
That would
You did
be.
psychotherapy?
Yeah,
Any-
I've just got the base 10%.
Any mod?
Yeah, plus 30%. Fumbles work here, by the way, with this roll. Just so.
Yeah, I'll roll it. Plus 30%.
Yeah. Nice.
No, with the plus 30, that would be a
Ooh.
40.
Mm-hmm.
So that should have been 19% should be a success.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it say failure?
Probably because it's not 10%, but
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah, I did pass then.
Yeah, Rat also passed because you had 10 plus 30, which
Yeah.
is 40. So Rat, you have a critical success. Mason, you have success. Luke, you honestly feel very uncomfortable here and very like on edge. Mason, you are sure that she's of course completely insane, like 100%. Rat, you are sure that not only she is completely insane, the whole village is insane with her. To you, when you took a long look at the other villagers, you know, when they took you to the temple, when they were, you know, marching you through the village, you just see clear signs of derangement, of probably multiple derangements, which would also explain why those people act like they are as healthy. I mean, they are as strong as they are, despite looking unhealthy. They are essentially fueled by their insanity.
Advanced illusions.
I glare at her and I say, "Wait, did you just say you hope we meet Baba John?"
She says, you know, she answers you after, of course, Yasim translates. He then translates her answer. He says that you Navaganantuk, which he explains that means newcomer, and this is a term supposedly that the villagers use both for Americans and Taliban. You've heard me wrong. I've said that you will meet him. If you will go to the temple, you will meet him.
I like put my rifle over my shoulder. I got my Baba John right here. I'm all right.
Ah, Jesus.
Well, I mean, Yasim does not translate that, of course. You know.
Yeah. I took it as an insult. I think she's like, I think this Baba John, she expects us to die or something. So
Hey, smoke another doobie. Chill out, bro.
He's clearly instigating. God damn it, Agent Green, like
one of the young soldiers show, because you know the Harding and his men listen to everything. They're like I said, they are a few meters from you, so they hear everything. He probably can't help himself, and he just shouts at the woman. Well, actually, he speaks very loudly. Actually, he speaks to Rasim. Maybe ask that old fucking hag what will happen if we kill all you evil cultists here and now, eh? He says.
I get up real quick. Hey, shut the fuck up. Do your fucking job.
I am doing my fucking job. We lost men because of those fucking heathens here.
Yeah, and we'll lose more. I'm not in the army, boy. I will not hesitate to put your ass down. Now shut the fuck up and keep your eyes on the fucking village.
Like, after that, as even before
your
he
wife's
starts
about to walk
shouting,
in the room and ask what you're doing.
Harding essentially also, you know, he even physically like smacks the young man on his helmet and says that when they return to the base, he'll make sure that you know that Shaw will make penance for this, and that you know, he says exactly the same thing as you, and that and you know, to focus, to concentrate, and to make sure that all of you will make it out alive. To your incredible surprise, yeah, and you've noticed that right after, you know, after Parker stopped yelling at the young man, it seems like Yasim translated that. You don't know why, but maybe he did it, you know, without thinking. Maybe it was just instinctive. You don't know, but you're sure that he translated what the young man said, and you look at him with this, probably with you know, with terror.
Much horror.
Yeah, you know, present on your faces. But to your incredible surprise, the woman just smiles, genuinely warmly, and with this unlimited hope in her eyes, and then she quietly and calmly answers him. Yasim just shakes his head as if, you know, just emerging from a stupor. He looks at you. I asked her what's private show thought, and she answered me. I think those people, they want to die. She says that they will live forever in the bosom of Baba Jan.
Nassim, can you translate back real quick, just so we can fucking settle some things? Ma'am, I am incredibly sorry for the idiocy of that young man out there. I can't control them, but I hope it will not happen again.
He quickly translates this. When she hears that, she, you know, raises her hands up and, you know, shakes her head, and with a smile on her face says a few words. You don't need to understand her language to know that she says no problem at all. And
She said "Donata," got it.
yeah, she
No problemo.
no problemo comprende. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, but that's exactly what she says. Yasim translate that. She says that he didn't do anything. You know, your friend didn't do anything wrong, and he had a right to be angry because. But she also says that that in the end Baba Jan will accept him into his bosom.
Or mouth.
I do have a question, and this one, you know, McLean Green. It's obvious, you know, after that shit, that we can't really offend her as well. But I do have to ask. We ran into a lot of resistance coming here. Why are people trying to keep people out of here?
You ask this. Yasim once again translates. You see that her face, you know, dropped down a bit, and she answers in a tone that is slightly mournful. She says that the villagers, they don't understand why Navagananatuk, which means the newcomer, fight between themselves. The big Navagananatuk, which are the Americans, supposedly, they don't know why they fight the hairy Navagananatuk, which are the Taliban or other Afghans. They don't know, and they don't want to know. As for the fighters who are trying to keep people from approaching Ghati, she says that those men are blind, and they are afraid of the glory of the god priest. They want to deny this glory to the others who deserve it, because everyone deserves to be with Baba Jan.
There's truth. Ezra seems gonna translate that. I assume I'm gonna kiss my Bible.
Yeah, of course, sure. Which, remember once again that the title, this title, even though it sounds silly, it is supposedly not this god priest's name. It is just a title because he has no name. Yasim, you see, is exhausted after this series of questions, and you can see clearly that, you know, this whole thing takes a huge toll on him mentally. His hands are shaking. He scratches the back of his head under his helmet constantly. The other soldiers, they are also on the edge. Even Harding, even though he is probably holding himself the best of them all. It's clear that they are just waiting for the inevitable, at least in their minds, inevitable ambush to happen. The villagers, they just go about their lives. You know, some of them are passing you by, quiet, not far, and you can see from up close that they are all like the elder, sick, emaciated. It's even hard to determine their age. Some are in the distance, looking at you from the open windows of their mud huts or from behind small houses. But no matter where they are, all of them just smile at you and they look genuinely friendly. But what will you do next? If you will go to the cliffs, if you will maybe try and contact the base, because remember you still have your radios, which, by the way, it is you guys know, and only you know, that it's technically possible to contact your handler. If you manage to contact FOB Turner, they will relay the message. So I'm just saying that. But we shall find this out next time, because it's late here and we are playing for quite some time now, so I think it's time to end this
sounds
here.
good.
Yeah. So, first of all, remember to check every appropriate box. See, you can even check in the logs of roll 20, see which rolls you failed. For example, Luke, you can check psychotherapy. Because you failed that, right?
Yep, I checked it.
Yeah, Mason, you can check first aid because you also failed this. This is important because this is the only way that you'll be able to progress with your characters. If you forget about this, you're just hurting yourselves.
I need to perform surgery on somebody and fail it.
A very good idea. I like this a lot.
Do what serial killers do, man. Just get an animal.
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, please note this, Luke, and remember this brand, that your character just smoked a joint. So you are now under the influence. I will, because I've read all the rules for Delta Green like a month ago, but of course it's been 3 weeks, so most of those things, maybe I didn't forget most of those things, but some I just need to refresh. So you are under the influence of the marijuana. I don't recall what this does exactly, but yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean that's it for today. I think.
It turns you into a killing machine.
Yeah, I think it goes rather well, but we shall see if we'll continue Delta Green after this scenario. It depends.
That's fun.
Because I mean it's not for everyone. As you can probably see, it's a completely different game than Warhammer. It's much less forgiving, and that's fine, but maybe that's not for everyone. Anyway, let's try and fix our next date. 2 weeks from now is the 2nd of October. But of course I'm flexible, so tell me if you are cool with that.
I think that works for me.
Yeah, I think I can
That
do it.
could work for me. I got to talk it over with the wife. The 4th is our anniversary.
6th is
so
ours, yeah.
we might be going. We might be going to dinner. I doubt we're going to dinner on Sunday. We'll probably be going out on that Saturday.
Okay, sure.
I've got to make a reservation for the place, anyways.
Okay, so for now we are playing on the 2nd, and yeah, we are slowly moving forward, and we shall see what's next for us.
Very cool.
Just so you guys know, I was thinking, I mean, if we'll end Delta Green after this op, I think we could return to Warhammer Fantasy.
Okay.
If everyone's cool.
All right.
But
Okay.
please, 2nd edition, no 4th.
Yes,
That's fine.
sir.
So,
Okay, I mean, because I've run for 2 years, and this game is, well, I respect it massively, and I like what Cubicle is doing with the franchise. Generally, they are doing a very good job. The rules are really not for me, sadly, and yeah,
that's fair.
yeah. So for now, let's concentrate on ending Ghati, and then we'll see what's next for us. Thanks for the
Okay.
game. Take care,
Sounds
people.
There
Bye
you go.
now.
Later.
Good game. Later.
Thanks.
Thanks.